Among sailors, the Congressional Cup Regatta, staged in California, is regarded as one of the major events in the sport. And winning here is a never-to-be-forgotten achievement in anyone's sailing career.
It's one of the biggest things you can do if you're a sailor and love the match racing, and to be on the top among these great names and being on the cup was over the moon.
This world-class match racing competition is hosted and staged by the members of the Long Beach Yacht Club and has a magnificent trophy adorned by the names of many of the greatest sailors in the sport, a trophy which has also eluded many others. Such is the challenge of winning here. Recognized as the green jacket equivalent to winning the Masters in golf, each year the winning skipper is honored with an invitation to wear the famed crimson blazer forevermore. In 2025, Monin became the first Swiss skipper to win his place in history.
The 2025 Congressional Cup! What a match! And what a finish!
Wow.
In the 61st staging of the Congressional Cup, who will claim that honor this year?
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethораBusinesses.com.
In 1965, some forward-thinking members of the Long Beach Yacht Club created an event that was endorsed by Congress and has become known as the Congressional Cup. And now, 61 years later, it is the grandfather of all international match race regattas. Some of the top names in the sport of sailing have cut their teeth here on the Congressional Cup. And this week, 10 international teams from around the world are here to see who's got what it takes to win the famed Crimson Blazer this Sunday afternoon. Welcome to the 61st annual Long Beach Yacht Club Congressional Cup here in Long Beach, California. I'm Tucker Thompson, along with Sam Rosenbaum, Ryan Sanders, and Marilyn Cassidy. Our umpire expert is Kirk Brown from the Long Beach Yacht Club, and we join the action on this day number 3 live on YouTube, Facebook, and the CongressionalCup.com. We're halfway through the second round robin qualifier to see who's got what it takes to make the top 4 semifinals by tomorrow. Before we get to that, here's a look at how the racing went down yesterday. Well, the action has been quite exciting for the past few days. Of course, that's expected at this level of the Congressional Cup, and the breeze right now is light, but it's going to build this afternoon. Ryan, take us through the scores as they stand right now.
All right, so right now we have Chris Poole leading the regatta at 11-1. Behind him, we have Eric Monin at... Eric Monin is in second place. Behind Eric Monin, we have Yanni Berntsson. Behind Berntsson, we have Cole Tapper sitting in fourth on the bubble to make the cut. Behind Cole Tapper, Jeppe Bourc out of Team Denmark. Behind Bourc, we have Ian Geretta out of France. Behind Geretta, we have Christian Prendergast.
And then Dixon and Pierro. Sorry about that,
Sorry.
Ryan. The graphic was a
Waiting
little
for the
bit late there.
graphic
But anyway, so Sam, before we get into the live racing action on the water, just real quick, only the top four make it to the semifinals. And as we just heard, Ryan said that Poole, Monin, and Berntsson are looking very strong. Who's got an outside shot?
The outside shots are Cole Tapper and Jeppe Bourc. Those two are really going to be fighting for that famed fourth spot. Chris Poole and Monin and Yanni Berntsson all but have it locked up. You can't really argue with the experience for these guys.
And then, Marilyn, when you look out on the water here, you know, Congressional Cup and Long Beach, California is known for really strong breeze, particularly afternoon. You wouldn't know it by looking out this morning, but this is not going to stay, is it? What do you expect?
Yeah, the expectation is that some of the gray weather we can see at the top of your screen is going to clear up. In even just the next couple of hours, we probably have a little bit of clearing. And with that clearing, we do expect more breeze to come through. So it should get exciting pretty quickly here.
Okay, let's go down to the water, into the pre-start, and we'd like to welcome everybody to the Belmont Pier. Thanks for joining us. We are live, as you can see, not only online around the world, but right here in front of the best viewing venue, pretty much of any sailing venue. That's why LA28, we're going to see sailing right here off the Belmont Pier. But right now, we are seeing flight number 15 in round robin. Number 2, start number 1, Dixon. Scotty Dixon from the Long Beach Yacht Club. Of course, he is the local hero. And he's up against Angstrom, Oscar Angstrom from Sweden. I take that back. Thanks. Oh, sorry, Chris Poole. I was looking at the wrong one there. Yeah, Chris Poole and Christian Prendergast, 2 American teams. Poole, of course, has won this event twice. Prendergast in his first Congressional Cup, just looking to gain some points on paper. You would certainly give it to Poole, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
But anything can happen, right?
Absolutely, but we've seen Prendergast step up and sail very well throughout this regatta. Poole's been really hard to beat with only 1 loss to Yanni Berntsson, but I quite like the way Prendergast has been sailing, and he's got veteran Sam Gilmore on board.
I'll tell you something else, too. When the breeze is up, these boats are pretty much the same speed, but in these conditions, this is really difficult. It's patchy. It's light. It opens up the door for someone like Prendergast, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I think that he's really this in his first ever showing at the Congressional Cup. He's got to be looking to make an impact and try to secure another invitation next year.
Spinnaker's up. Both boats have jibed back towards the line, and you can just see how slow it is. And this, I think, it's actually harder on the crews in these conditions than it is in breeze.
Absolutely. Dealing with spinnakers in the pre-start is something that is a very unique experience and very unique to match racing. This is not something we've seen all week either. I'm really excited to see how Prendergast and his newer team faces off against somebody like Poole in these light air conditions with the spinnakers in the pre-start.
Poole is known, and Sam, you've been saying it all week, he's known to accelerate and decelerate better than most of these teams. Look at him just sailing away from Prendergast there as they reach over the top of the signal boat. Minute 45 till the start.
Yeah, Tucker, Poole's done a great job in all these pre-starts, and A and B, you know, A being he knows how to start and stop the boat better than anybody else, and B being that he knows how to re-accelerate the boat, and he's done a great job attacking in every situation possible.
Yeah, I'd say that even just in this pre-start, we really saw both him and Poole and Prendergast on the same jibe, sailing away from the line there. And you just saw Poole really take off away from Prendergast, even in really similar conditions and with a really similar start to that acceleration.
Yeah, absolutely, Marilyn. Poole just above, actually, committee ley line here. Prendergast seems to be much more down speed compared to Poole. I think that's going to be tough for him in a pre-start like this.
Prendergast, to my eye, is doing a very sort of, and I apologize for this, Christian, a kind of a beginner match racing approach here. Just unengaging, coming in on starboard late. He'll just have a starboard tack start out of this. Meanwhile, Chris Poole knows he wants to lead in light air, knows where he wants to go upwind, so his timing is good, his speed is good. 35 seconds to go, and he's got plenty of time to get to the pin. He will be to the left and to leeward, and Prendergast to the right to windward.
It's certainly a controlling position in this light air to be leading out to the left side, and I can't really blame Christian Prendergast here for not really wanting to tango with Poole in the light air.
Yeah, knowing that you're facing a competitor who has such good acceleration out of those maneuvers, you don't want to put yourself at risk if you can avoid it, right?
Yeah, looking down the line here, Poole seems to be accelerating and kind of holding his position, hoping for Prendergast to kind of come tango, but Prendergast is doing a decent job holding up on the line and trying to start with a bit of a gap, windward with a gap.
Well, there was the gun. Prendergast too tight to leeward of Chris Poole, and he knew it, so he immediately tacks away. Very slow. We've got our first split going on right now, and Marilyn, we keep leaning on you as our local expert. One boat going to the right, one boat going to the left.
It's so dangerous to split in match racing, and in the morning like this in Long Beach when the breeze is still filling in, this is a high-risk, high-reward maneuver for both to the team splitting left and the team splitting right. As I'm looking out here, I almost think it might be a little bit better filled in on the right, though.
I completely agree. Yesterday and the day before in the lighter pre-sea breeze in the morning, we saw the left paying off, but I actually quite like the way Prendergast is sailing right now out to the right. He seems to be sailing into a bit of a righty and more pressure, whereas Poole's in a righty as well and less pressure.
You can see the split there as we leave Prendergast. And looking to our left, you can see the second start entry also under Spinnaker. Love that. This is the Spinnaker pre-starts are definitely here to stay, particularly in light air. And this is going to be Jeppe Bourc and Ian Geretta. Bourc from Denmark and Geretta from France in the orange Spinnaker. Entering on starboard. Bourc is going to be on port. They've got to drop the kites, get the jibs up, go ahead to wind, tack, and get into a dial-up all in a matter of seconds. But, Sam, I don't think we're going to see a dial-up.
I don't think we are, unless they pull something out of the hat here. It looks like it's going to be a downwind cross for Jeppe Bourc. I had dinner last night with Jeppe Bourc, and it's all on for them today. They need to win basically every race, and the game on for them.
So Bourc across on port. That's very important in match racing, particularly in light air if you're going to enter from the left. And now just pace on towards the Belmont Pier. You can see where all the fans are getting the closest view of match racing in any regatta in the world. We are part of the pre-start, literally.
Literally. And this close, you can really see both of these teams, the focus that they're bringing to it. And Bourc, I think, especially accelerating away from his competitor here, knowing that after that cross, he's going to need the room to make the next move.
2 minutes 30, the countdown. The next move is going to be a jibe, drop, jib hoist. And on top of all that maneuvering, we're also trying to outsail your competitor in the pre-start. This is incredible boat handling and crew work. And while it looks slow, it's so much harder to do in light air. I think this is more impressive than when the breeze is on. So both boats have jibed now, heading back towards the line. Bourc trailing. And we've got 2 minutes till the start, which is in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Lots of time to kill, right?
Absolutely. I think Jeppe Bourc is in not necessarily a tough position here, but he certainly is going to be looking to push Geretta down the line here. They're both above committee ley line at the moment.
And as we said in the first start with Poole, leading in light air and match racing is so strong. Or let me rephrase that. Trailing in behind your competitor, particularly tight to windward, is so weak. And that's exactly where Bourc is right now. So what are his options? He's trying to go for a hook?
Yeah, he needs to push Geretta as far down the line as he can here, depending on which side of the line he wants. Right now, it seems to me that he wants the right, and I agree with that at the moment.
So it's Bourc pushing, going for an overlap there. Trying to force Geretta up towards the line. It's not going to happen because he just doesn't have the pace and breeze. So Geretta's really in charge of this start at this moment with a minute to go. Now, the only downside is there's a lot of time and a very little amount of distance. So Geretta could be in a little bit of trouble here if he gets down to the pin too quickly before the start.
Absolutely, and you want to avoid as many downspeed maneuvers as you can, especially in the light air. You're going to just kill all the momentum and boat speed you have, and in these big, heavy boats, you really got to hang on to it.
So, Marilyn, just give us a quick update from the race at the top of the track, the first race. Who's ahead?
We see Chris Poole has just lee-bowed Christian Prendergast. It looks like he couldn't quite get across him on port, so they're leading in on the starboard ley line up to the mark with a little bit of a dial-up coming here.
So what you're telling us is neither side paid off because we had a split, and that's all very important for these two teams as they approach the line, 10 seconds to go. It's pretty even across the racetrack. I'm not going to buy that because at some point in these lighter airs, you're going to see one puff on one side or the other. So it's very rare that the two teams would come together like they did in the first match. Now this match is off. Jeppe Bourc in a bit of trouble to the right, tacking at the start, down speed. The yellow boat was over early, and that was Geretta, and he's just kind of dipped back below the line. So unusual errors right there on the very last couple seconds to the start, but no matter, it's even as both teams head upwind on starboard.
Yeah, Tucker, I really quite like the way Bourc got away from Geretta there. Geretta being OCS is a pretty strong position for Bourc to be in. He seems like he has better pace and a much more controlling position right now.
And Marilyn, in the top of the screen is that dial-up you were talking about, the first match. They are bow to bow and both stopped in the water.
Yeah, and you can almost just see that Poole has disengaged from the dial-up, and both boats are continuing on starboard towards the weather mark now. You know the tacticians on board that second race are going to be watching as well.
So are the rest of them. We're looking at the third race now, entering in the pre-start. From the right, it's Yanni Berntsson, no spinnaker because it got fouled at the hoist. Sam pointed it out just off camera. A little mistake for the Swedish team. He's won this event before. And then Oscar Angstrom, also from Sweden, so this is a big match up against his hero, Yanni Berntsson. He's entering pretty powerfully on port with that green F&M bank spinnaker, crossing Berntsson.
Yeah, we've seen the downwind cross twice now, 2 in a row, so that might tell you the pin is maybe a bit low, but to be seen. I think Berntson's also just downspeed with no spinnaker. This is sort of the battle of the old Swedish guard versus the new Swedish guard.
Well, I like this. Berntsson going with a jibe hoist. Jibe set in the pre-start. This is boat handling at its absolute best. Some crews have trouble just doing a normal jibe set. Try doing it against the best in the world in match racing where the rules are used as a weapon to attack rather than as a shield, right? So these guys are going to be trying to literally screw each other up. Kind of what I like about match racing. There's something not quite nice about it that makes it entertaining as a spectator.
You got to twist the knife, Tucker.
Yeah.
My high school coach always told me you got to use the rules as a shield.
A quick update from the weather mark. Poole leads by about 2 boat lengths as he and Prendergast round.
Well, that's something we're used to hearing all week. Poole leads, Poole leads. He's only lost 1 match in the first round robin and a half so far. 12 races have been sailed, and he's won the Crimson Blazer twice before. Poole is the man to beat now as we focus back in the pre-start with another Crimson Blazer former winner. Yanni Berntsson has sailed incredibly well this week. Very relaxed, too, I might add. Angstrom to windward. Berntsson to leeward. Both boats head almost back towards the start. We got some time to kill, so we're not quite on final approach. Minute 45 coming up.
Yeah, Tucker, I really think the most important thing that I would be focusing on in a pre-start like this is keeping your pace on and just trying to get away clean. I think Berntsson is doing a good job keeping Angstrom off of him, and he seems to have just slightly better pace right now than Angstrom.
So minute 20 to go. Time on distance and speed build is crucial. Berntsson with a lot of pace, but to my eye, a bit too early. He's going to have to use up some of that pace. Angstrom, I think, is on perfect time, and he could, if Berntsson slows down, go in for a hook and kind of screw things up for the former Congressional Cup winner. Berntsson knows he's early, so he's fishtailing now. He's luffed up, spun the rudder really hard, trying to slow down way too early. 53 seconds and just 2 lengths to the line or less. Jib down Luff.
Yeah, Berntson's trying to kill time as best he can here. If he's not going to have a good start, he's making sure that Angstrom doesn't have a good start.
Marilyn, is it possible that there is a little bit of left to right current?
That would be very unusual, but
Okay.
never say never.
And Berntsson going for the jib up. Angstrom falling away on port with the jib up, or Genoa up as well.
Oh, Angstrom in big trouble here. Big trouble. 3 seconds to go. Pointing the wrong way. Can't get across the line with the signal boat there in his way. Has to jibe down below the line. He was over early. That was just a textbook start for Yanni Berntsson to the young Swedish sailor, saying, hey, welcome to the Congressional Cup, buddy. It's going to be a long week.
That's been going on for the last 2 days, Tucker. The old guard has been really showing the young guys this is what the Congressional Cup is. Shape up.
You see, Marilyn, age has been somewhat of a theme this week, but I'm going to call it experience. Let's just go with that.
I'm enjoying calling it experience
Let's call it
myself.
Another
quick update from the weather, Mark, is that Jeppe leads Geretta around it, and we may have a lead change coming into the gate between Poole and Prendergast. Poole and Prendergast quite close on their final jibe and final approach to that gate.
Poole, I believe, is the yellow spinnaker. Plethora of business is spinnaker. He was ahead. And now, as you say, we could see a bit of a role reversal as they come into the leeward gates, overlapped. Poole's crew just pumping all their weight to windward there just to get a little bit more out of the sails. As we pan out here, you are looking at Aurélien Pierro from France on starboard, no spinnaker up. And his opponent in this pre-start does have a spinnaker up, and that's Eric Monin there in the pink Celtic Bank spinnaker. Monin, the reigning Congressional Cup champion from last year, gets across just barely on port.
Just barely, Tucker. I think the French are really struggling from not having the spinnaker up in the pre-start. Now they're sending it now. Monin with really nice pace here over the French, though.
That's a great shot. Look at that. Right there with him. There's that crew weight pumping to windward again and then back down to leeward. Just every little bit counts. Monin, arguably the best light air sailor in the entire international match racing circuit. Grew up lake sailing in Switzerland with his family. He's got more than half his crew are family members, including his wife Ute, trimming the main there.
That was the unique thing last night is everybody had the same theme. Monin might not win the start, but he's certainly going to outboat speed you. He's a bit of a wizard in conditions like this.
You know, being married, I can ask this question. I asked Ute last night, you know, how does it work? Who's in charge on the boat and who's in charge back at home? And she said, let's just put it this way. I let him think he's in charge. I love it.
And looking up at the windward gate here, Prendergast taking the course right gate and Poole taking the course left gate. Poole tacking over now. Both boats seem to want the right again, and we'll see what happens.
Who's ahead?
Looks to me that Poole was just slightly ahead, but I think Prendergast is sailing into more pressure, so I think that could be very advantageous to him.
Okay, well, we'll keep that match in mind as these starts close down. Arguably the closest on the water so far this morning. Minute 40 seconds to go in our start, just off the Belmont Pier, which is left of screen. The two teams heading back towards the line, just below our time graphic. That's the signal boat, and to the left is the yellow buoy. So there's the starting line. You can see the other two matches in play upwind in the upper right of your screen. Two boats coming downwind, two boats going upwind. And for this match approaching the start, minute 20 to go. Pierro to leeward, tight to leeward. Looks to be going for a bit of a luff. Can he shut out Eric Monin, the light air master, to windward, or will Monin just creep over the top of his bow? Here
Tucker,
comes the luff.
It looks to me that Monin has really nice pace here, and I don't think the French can get to him there.
Oh, my goodness, that's close.
Just a masterclass in light air sailing there.
No flag, no penalty, just asking the questions of the umpire. Was that too close? I didn't see a Yankee flag, did you?
I did not, no. And I think some of the skippers are a bit gun-shy on pulling the Yankee flag. The Blues have doubled the penalties of the Yellows so far this weekend.
Blue being the boat that enters on port, yellow on starboard. That was as close as you like. Eric Monin showing us how much control he has in light air. That was, I mean, it was so close to a collision, Marilyn. I think when he bore away, he moved his transom away from his opponent and just inched over his bow.
I think there's an experience element there, too, knowing how the boat is going to respond in these conditions and this specific boat as well.
Well, more so than Pierro. Tight to leeward is going to be Monin. And I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted as we head towards the line. Both boats reaching along the line towards the pin. There's the gun. And both boats wind up. Now, Pierro has his bowman still up on the bow, and I don't think I would do that in this light air, but he's just coming back now. Every body positioning and weight and movement on the boat affects the speed in this light air. I hear a change of course. Sam, down here at the bottom of the track at the leeward gate.
Yeah, I'm guessing that, I'm not seeing the flag, but I'm guessing that means we're going up to the green gate rather than the yellow mark at the top of the course. The the green gate's just slightly to the right, and that's signifying a right-hand shift.
Yeah, let's look at the leeward gate. Who's that ahead?
At the leeward gate, we have Jeppe Bourc ahead with the blue spinnaker that's coming down on screen now. Just behind him, Ian Geretta with the orange Visit Long Beach spinnaker. Still has a shot, especially in this light air, as it can be so puffy, and there are more opportunities potentially.
Well, a couple things. As you mentioned in the Open, Bourc really needs every single win to get to the semifinals. He's leading right now to the right, and in these conditions, man, it's going to be hard for his opponent to catch up. Now, have a look at Dixon. He's entering in the pre-start there as we look overhead. He was on starboard with that purple spinnaker, which is just flying now. Dixon up against Cole Tapper, another team that Sam mentioned is close to a shot at the top four. As he luffs up, this is the first dial-up we've seen this morning. Tapper going head to wind with the spinnaker coming down quickly.
Lots of crew work going on there, Tucker. I think that Tapper had a nicer drop. Dixon, though, seeming to handle it all right. If I was in Cole Tapper's position, I would want to be as close as possible to Dixon and try to force something to happen here.
Now, Marilyn, you're going to think I'm nuts, which pretty much defines every time I ask you something. I swear I'm seeing a left to right eddy in the start because these boats, I can see on the background, they are moving to our right in this light air.
It could be. We're also just starting to see a little bit of clearing. If we look overhead, you can almost see some blue at the top of the screen, which could indicate a change in the weather coming. I'm less sure about the current.
Well, have a look at what I'm looking at. They're head to wind, and they are literally moving to our right. And in fact, I can see on the water where it is. It's just a reverse eddy because you said yesterday we get right to left movement. Not a lot. But right here in this exact moment, we're seeing it on the pre-start. I don't even know if the sailors pick up on it because we're so far above them. We can see more than they can. Anyway, that killed a minute. Coming up on 2 minutes, and the dial-up is over, Sam.
Yeah, I think Dixon's come away from it with nice pace. The spinnaker going up on Dixon's boat. Tapper looking at spinnaker going up as well. They're just Tapper. If I was Tapper, I'd be looking to get as close as I can to Dixon here. Dixon has really nice pace sailing away into the playground.
So Dixon top of screen, Tapper in the foreground at the bottom there. Tapper finished third in the Congressional Cup last year. Dixon actually has done 23 Congressional Cups representing Long Beach Yacht Club. He's finished every single position except one, and that is the position one. Wouldn't it be amazing one day? So spinnaker coming down, jib going up, both boats dialing again. It's Dixon in charge of the match so far. Above the starting line is Tapper. You can see the signal boat in the background there, the Australian team in a bit of trouble. Dixon showing us how well he knows these boats. And I'll tell you what, Marilyn, while the clock ticks down to the final minute in this start, and we'll come to it after the start, but that pool match, the first one, is still So close. Anybody's guess.
There's 2 matches coming downwind that are both so close. We'll have to keep an eye.
Sam, it looks like maybe Dixon's going to let Tapper go here and set up for final approach, probably a lead in. And is Tapper going to get a start out of this?
I think he might squeak something out, but it won't be nearly as clean as Dixon's start. If Tapper, I've been very impressed with the way they're handling the boat this weekend and their boat speed. If they can pull this maneuver off, they'll be in a pretty awesome position. But Dixon's experience in these boats has just propelled them ahead in a lot of situations like this.
Look at both boats turning. Tapper turning more aggressively, both to get below the line and to avoid Dixon to leeward with 10 seconds to go. Scotty Dixon is bow forward, looking to just build pace. I'm surprised Tapper has as much speed as he does because he dropped the spinnaker, jibed, wound up, and got back into the match here. So everything Dixon did to screw his opponent over effectively is washed clean. And we're heading upwind, bow to bow. Meanwhile, in the background, upper right, who's ahead in the pool match? The yellow and the blue spinnaker, Marilyn?
Yeah, in the yellow and light blue spinnakers, we see Pool just ahead and Prendergast trying to make a move, looking for that roll on this downwind leg to the finish. And then in the green F&M Bank and black Port of Long Beach kites, it's neck and neck between Berntsson and Angstrom.
All right. As you'd expect at this level of the game, as close as you like. And that was a very close tack for Tapper. Dixon tacked him underneath the wind shadow of both of these 2 matches coming downwind while he sails away in clear air. So advantage the American team?
Absolutely. Dixon handled that perfectly as far as basically setting a pit maneuver for Tapper there. He's going to have to sail not only through 2 boats disturbed air, but 3 with Pool and Prendergast coming down the race course.
Okay, well, we'll leave them to it. Meanwhile, look in the center of your screen right there. Chris Poole, the yellow plethora business's spinnaker, has been within 1 boat length of Prendergast the entire race. This to the finish. Still just 1 boat length separating the 2. Prendergast looking to blanket that yellow spinnaker's breeze and try to steal the lead from Chris Poole. But Poole, even though it looks marginal, is positionally in just the right spot. Actually, there it's a bit farther apart than it looks here on the water in that overhead shot. There goes all the drama I was trying to set up. But so Poole, I think, is looking better than we thought.
But love to see the enthusiasm from Prendergast trying to make something happen in the final feet to the finish here.
Yeah, and I dare say it's not over yet. Just look how slow both boats are going. Any little puff to one or the other will give them an advantage. I remember in this exact moment at the end of the finish last year, Chris Poole was just this far behind Monin, and they finished overlap. Monin almost lost the Congressional Cup. So here comes Poole, almost undefeated so far, looking to make the top 4 semifinals. You'd have to bet he's going to do it. Then all the points go away. Everything gets wiped clean. 6 teams become spectators, and 4 move on in the Congressional Cup. Chris Poole looking to do just that. And there's what we were saying. You know, there can be a difference. You can see Prendergast did gain a little bit, jibing off the signal boat there. Probably gained about 3/4 of a length to Poole, but that doesn't matter in match racing. Only 1 position counts, right, Marilyn? And that's first.
And Poole doing a great job keeping his cool this week. We've said it time and time again, as much as it kills us.
Well, I have to give him credit. The reason you say that is because Poole has really worked hard at controlling not only the game but his own emotion through it, and really has tackled, you know, like every great competitor at the highest level, the mental side of the sport. So I give him a lot of credit. He's won this event twice. What have we got here, Marilyn? Looking upwind.
Yeah, we're looking at Bourc leading Jan Geretta. They're also coming down to the finish. This is another one where it's been close the whole time, but Bourc has stayed in the lead.
Bourc needs every win today, Sam, that you mentioned, if he wants to move on to the top 4. Basically, it's open for any of them, but the most likely scenario is they're all fighting for that 4th spot because the 3 Crimson Blazer winners have pretty good scores.
Absolutely, and they've stepped up today and said, at least Chris Poole has stepped up today and said, you're not taking it from me. This is my spot.
You're definitely going to have to work hard. But as I mentioned, Marilyn, because the scores wipe clean, once we get to the semifinals, it's kind of like it doesn't matter how well you've sailed to this point. Everything is even. You could sail flawlessly through the qualifying and still lose a Congressional Cup.
Absolutely.
I saw Dean Barker do that, I want to say about 4 years ago. 5 years ago, he came through. He won every race, every single race up until the last one in the finals, finished second. You're only as good as what you did last.
Absolutely.
On the screen here, too, you can see the Celtic Bank Spinnaker. That's Eric Monin leading the American Integrated Services Spinnaker with Pierro's down to the gate. Looks like Monin is ahead by a length or just a little bit more, but definitely trying to stay out from underneath that American Integrated Services Spinnaker.
Yeah, Monin in the light air has been, frankly, unstoppably quick, and we're seeing that here right now.
I don't know if I've seen Monin make a crew error in light air. Best in the business for sure. Dropping the spinnaker right at the mark. Textbook. Monin sits down in the back there, driving like he's got a cup of tea. You know, just out for a Sunday drive, making it look easy.
And at the windward mark here, we're seeing Jonny Berntsson beating out the young Swedish team. He made the ley line. The young Swedes had to tack twice to make it up and put their kite up. Looks like Jonny Berntsson's got maybe 5, 6, maybe even 7 boat lengths lead over Angstrom.
Berntsson then in the black spinnaker, I'm assuming, to the right?
Yep.
You know what I like about Sam? He pays attention. You know, he's thinking next level. You and I are on the here and now. He's on the maybe later.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Tucker.
It's great because there's so many matches for us to follow. Who's that just luffing up around the top mark with the spinnaker? That was a nice move. The purple spinnaker.
In our the purple, the grand spinnaker is Scotty Dixon.
Okay. Dixon fighting for the front in his match.
Yeah.
Looks like a yellow penalty in that match.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Tapper getting a penalty on him, or rather Dixon pulling a penalty on Tapper.
So who's got the penalty? Dixon's yellow.
Dixon has the penalty as the lured boat.
Ouch. So Dixon ahead, but now he has a penalty. I love this part of match racing because when you're in front, you're not guaranteed the win until you shed the penalty. So you have to attack the other boat. Look how close that is. No offense to my good friend Scotty Dixon, but you just want it to be almost as painful as possible for these guys so it's more entertaining for us to watch. Dixon and crew have work to do to get rid of that penalty and still beat Tapper, who is literally right on his heels. Great overhead drone shots there. I've been covering this event for 25 years, and that's a shot just a few years ago I never thought we would see. Amazing how technology has advanced. I'll tell you one thing, though. Having said that, these Catalina 37s are in their 37th year in the Congressional Cup. And even though they might be, 3.5 decades old, this is the modern level, the best of match racing, and they have stood the test of time.
They've stood the test of time, and the Long Beach Sailing Foundation this year has really embarked on a pretty major series of upgrades. So we could call that maybe like a little tuck, a little lift, really making a difference for the sailors.
And guys, I think we need to give a special shout out to Mary Voigt with the Sailing Foundation. They work all year long to keep these boats in tip-top shape, not only used for the Congressional Cup, used by Long Beach Yacht Club and other accompanying yacht clubs in the area for match racing and fleet racing alike all year long.
And something you just said, which is interesting, is that this is a professional level regatta, as all of them are on the World Match Racing Tour, but it's run by 300 volunteers.
Yeah, we're going to have a feature later in the day. We have so many volunteers put countless hours into the Congressional Cup and the Ficker Cup the week before. This is our Super Bowl, if you will, here in Long Beach. So proud to host, and me and so many other members are happy to volunteer.
Well, thanks to all the 300 members, all the members of the Long Beach Yacht Club. As Ryan said, this is their Super Bowl, and it really is. You know, it's there's so many top events on the World Match Racing Tour, but it amazes me every year that this one is not only run by volunteers, but as you know, Marilyn, they change positions every year. It's a new chairman and a whole new committee, and that level of continuity with all the changes that go on. I mean, I'm a member of yacht clubs, and believe me, I know how hard that is. And this is the best of the best, and it's thanks to you guys, Long Beach Yacht Club.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's our Super Bowl, and everyone who's participating is so proud to be here.
Well, Tapper trying desperately to get around Scott Dixon, and Dixon knows he's got to get rid of that penalty, and the finish line is looming in the background there. We're just, 10 lengths to go. Time for Scotty to engage, try to get up to Tapper and give an offsetting penalty and then still remain ahead. Tall order?
Absolutely. Tapper's lured and a little bow forward. I don't think Dixon's going to be able to make anything happen here.
Quick update, Yanni Berntsson won his match. That in the background there is crossed the finish line, and Chris Poole won his match as well. Meanwhile, Tapper in the purple spinnaker is doing a really great job. And sorry, this is to the leeward gate, so they're going back upwind. Tapper just wants to actually stay behind but close, which is unusual because in order to win the race, when your lead opponent has a penalty, being behind will win you the match. Or have we had a lead change? Is that what you're saying, Sam?
Yeah, Tapper's actually in the Club 100 yellow spinnaker there. He's rounding the course left gate right now. Dixon rounding the course right gate. It looked to me that Tapper had about 3, maybe 4 lengths ahead of Dixon.
Okay, but Marilyn, which side do you like looking upwind as far as Dixon going out to the right?
I was just going to ask if there was any way to get a split so we could get a little bit of a read as we start to think about this next set of races.
There you go.
I think the left has really filled in since we got this thing started.
And I'm seeing the sun or the cloud cover kind of burning off here. Does that mean the sea breeze is going to start to move in here?
Absolutely. And it's just about it happening at the time that we predicted, too. So right now, the weather forecasters are doing a pretty good job.
And real quick, between Bourc and Geretta, was it Bourc?
Yeah, Bourc took it.
Okay, so Poole won his match, Bourc won his match, and Berntsson has just won his. We've got Dixon and Tapper going upwind, Monin and Pierro coming downwind. Who's ahead in that match? Right
Monin
here.
had rounded the weather mark with about a 4 or 5 boat length lead on Pierro. So it'll be interesting to see. They're just coming together, and it looks like Monin has maintained quite a bit of that lead, though there was a little bit of a split, and maybe Pierro has picked some up.
Nice positioning there for Monin, ahead to leeward, clear air forward, blocking his opponent, heading towards the finish. Everything you'd expect from the current Congressional Cup champion and light air master, Eric Monin.
Tucker, to me, it looks as though the bright has definitely improved and the pressure's gone up, actually. I've seen some gains coming in from the right side. I do see Tapper with a bit more of a left angle, top left of the course here, just beyond those spinnakers you're seeing on screen.
You know, Scott Dixon tacking off to the far right. Looks like he's in good pressure, too. So it's anybody's guess. You can see in the top of screen. That's Tapper on port. Dixon just off of screen. We'll let you know who's ahead in a moment. Meanwhile, Eric Monin is convincingly ahead as he heads for the finish. You can hear a pin drop. Well, actually, you can hear a seagull, to be quite fair, and a pin drop. It's very quiet here on the pier. We're going to wake this pier up this afternoon, I can tell you that. The crowds keep building all week because, Ryan, this is Long Beach's second largest
spectator event.
And it keeps building throughout the weekend. And we want to thank all you guys out here on the Belmont Pier and remind you to call all your friends and family. In fact, invite people you've never even met. Tell them to come down to the Belmont Pier, right, Ryan, where the party's going to be here all weekend.
That's right. It is free viewing here from the pier all weekend long. There's food available from Bowie's Restaurant. If you are a Club 100 member, you get premium access to the middle viewing area of the pier with a bar upstairs and food courtesy of the Grand all weekend long in Tucker. I've been up there. The food looks so good. I can't wait to get a minute to head up there. And
I was wondering where you went, Ryan. Have a look down at the finish. Eric Monin. That last jibe there, Maryland was in light air, and his opponent is in more pressure, more speed. But positionally, that does not matter because Monin's simply going to drift across the line comfortably ahead and take the win.
Yeah, Pierro just ran out of race course to make it happen, even though he did find himself in some pretty good pressure towards the end there.
All right, let's see how Scott Dixon fared. He went to the far right-hand side.
Yeah, Tucker, looking at
wind.
this last cross, Tapper had him by about 3 or 4 lengths. He crossed on port. Dixon still with a penalty to kill, so he's got a lot on coming into the
Top mark.
top mark here.
And here's Dixon ahead, looking to close out Tapper. I think we're going to yellow mark. Is that right, or green? Are we going to green?
I believe we're going to the green mark, actually.
We are going to the green mark, and Tapper's
in that
a
case,
bit ahead
Tapper's
right
in
now.
charge. For a minute there, I was, that was wishful thinking from my buddy Scott. I thought we were going to the left mark. We're not. We're going to the right. So it's that green buoy to the right of screen that is the top mark because we've changed the course, which means the yellow one is not in play. So it's Tapper holding up Dixon here at the top mark. Dixon well within striking distance, but remember that umpire boat at the bottom of screen? Dun, dun, dun. Reminding Dixon he still has to spin a penalty turn if he's able to get ahead. Anything can happen, though. This is the Congressional Cup. Beautiful crew work for both teams. So it's Dixon behind, purple, Grand, Spinnaker. Tapper ahead in the yellow. What is that, Club 100?
Club 100. Yeah, the gold Club 100 Spinnaker.
And Ryan, we'll bring Ryan in a second. What is Club 100?
All right, so Club 100 is a special group of Long Beach Yacht Club members who actually help support the Congressional Cup every year. They make a donation to the club, and then they get special viewing access right from the loft in the middle of the pier. Yacht Club members do have a dedicated area, but Club 100 has the absolute best seat in the house. You can literally throw a drink down on the sailors as they come by the pier. It's a great, great spot to watch from, and honestly, the best place in the entire city. Please don't throw any drinks on the sailors. Save that for the Yacht Club, but that is how close it is.
What's that one hole in golf, number 16, and the fans throw their beers down? I mean, there's a whole new level I'm pretty sure we're not going to see at Congressional Cup. But your point is, we're that close. We are that close.
I heard it was all right as long as it was a Bacardi rum drink.
You know what I love about Ryan is just no filter. It just comes out.
It's beautiful.
That's a new one. 25 years I've been doing this. I've never heard anyone talk about throwing drinks on the. I've heard of them, waving to the sailors, cheering the sailors on, throwing drinks. Oh, it's getting closer.
I think Dixon's going to have to do a lot here to get to Tapper. I think Tapper's at this point just needs to keep his composure and keep his boat speed up.
Exactly right, and we can see Dixon starting to make a move like that big up, coming up a bunch, trying to draw this match up and into the center of the race course to keep his options open.
And trying to get up on top of Tapper's breeze. You'd know if he's there if that yellow spinnaker starts to collapse. It isn't yet, but watch that front edge. Just starting to bobble a little bit. Is Dixon starting to affect Tapper? If he is, that's good for the American team, but the bad news is there's not much distance left for him to actually pass Tapper, then offset the penalty, still stay ahead. It is possible because, as we mentioned earlier, match racing is where the rules are a weapon. Scotty looking to attack.
Well, and Tapper doing a great job just pushing the race down to the lay line. Dixon trying to pull the course back into the race back into the middle of the course to try to draw out a penalty. Tapper sailed almost all the way to committee lay, and here we are.
So Scotty wants this race to take as long as possible, and Cole Tapper wants it to be as short as he can. And as you mentioned, Sam, Tapper's one of those skippers that has a strong shot if he wins every match at making that all-important fourth spot in the semifinals. Or if we saw Monin, Berntsson, or Poole start to lose today, which, as we say, anything can happen, you never know till the very end as Dixon gives it all he's got. Right about now, Tapper's starting to come up, starting to sail extra distance to keep his air clear. That means that Dixon, although he's not on him yet, is affecting Tapper. And Tapper's having to defensively sail higher angles, which is more distance, which is an advantage to the American team. Will it be enough? You can hear the crowd building here on the Belmont Pier, and this is only, what, 12 o'clock, right? Something like that. It's going to go on all day, folks.
Sun's coming out in California, Tucker.
Hey, it's getting closer here, guys. Dixon is definitely getting closer.
Yeah, he's done a really good job closing up the distance and getting onto Tapper's breeze.
Can he jibe? Or is Tapper going to try and close him out as a leeward boat?
I think Tapper's going to take it all the way to the ley line here if he can.
Or even past it.
Or even past it.
I think we would expect a jibe from Scotty. He's got just enough room to do it and swing behind Tapper's transom, and he has. Now, can the bowman make the pole and they come out hotter than Tapper on his breeze? And Scotty doing everything right. The problem is time is running out. We've got 2.5 lengths to the finish, just at the bottom of your screen, and Tapper knows it. Beautiful job, actually, for Tapper. He just came out of that jibe perfectly.
He knew that Scotty was going to try to get onto his breeze, and so he also came out hot in a defensive move.
And it worked. 1 length to go for the Australian team in his 3rd Congressional Cup. Finished 3rd last year. Cole Tapper looking to advance, and with that win, he will at this point. Now, we're going to take a short break. That concludes this flight number 13. So Tapper wins his match. Now, after our short break, we'll come back. Flight 14 of, what do we got? 18 flights for this, right? So more sailing to go this afternoon. Don't go anywhere if you're watching live online or here at the Belmont Pier. We'll be right back.
Behind every great start line is the Long Beach Sailing Foundation, preserving and maintaining our legendary Catalina 37 fleet. Their work allows the world's best match racers to compete on equal terms right here in Long Beach.
If you love seeing these Catalina 37s on the starting line, please consider supporting the Long Beach Sailing Foundation with a tax-deductible donation. Your generosity helps keep our iconic fleet afloat, literally, and ensures these boats continue serving sailors for generations to come.
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
All right, Ryan Sanders back here on the pier. I've got a very special guest, Lisa DeSchmidt from the Arts Council for Long Beach. Lisa, how are you doing today? Welcome to the Congressional Cup.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited to be here on the water. It's a beautiful day, so thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit, who is the Arts Council for Long Beach?
So the Arts Council for Long Beach is a nonprofit. We're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. So we've been in Long Beach for 50 years. And think of us as the one-stop shop for everything arts and culture related. So we have grants that we give out to artists. We have public art programs, we have arts learning programs, and we're just advocates for everything arts in the city.
Okay, and I think we're going to show some footage here now of some of the projects you guys have been a part of. Explain to us how that works and what kind of programs you do for these things in the city, as you can see on screen right now.
Absolutely. So you can see some of our past public art projects that we've worked on. And we also house the public art archive for the city. So if you're ever wondering, if you stop by a mural and wonder who the artist was or who commissioned it, you can look that up on our website and learn everything about the artists and all of the art in the community.
Great, Lisa. So thank you for that. But what I'm most excited about, we have a huge event coming to Long Beach a couple years away, the 2028 Olympic Games. Explain to us how arts will play a role with the Olympics and what we can look for as we move ahead for the next 2 years in making Long Beach the must-be spot to watch some Olympic events.
Yes, I'm really excited. So the mayor recently branded Long Beach as the Vibe City. So as you know, artists and culture in Long Beach and musicians, that's the vibe that makes Long Beach what it is. So here at the Arts Council, we want to make sure that we're showcasing all of the artists here in Long Beach. And so we started a grant that's called Imagine 28, where artists and cultural organizations can apply to get funding to do a testing project leading up to the Olympics. And we'll have some more grants that'll be actually for programming during the Olympics. We're also doing a cultural assets mapping so that we can create some specific tours around the Olympics for folks. So when tourists are coming in, they'll know where to go in the city and what they can look for.
Very cool. And so explain to me what involvement the city can have from the arts level as the Olympics come closer. How do artists get involved? How do they reach you guys? What will artists have as far as the Olympic Games are concerned? What will artists have to do there?
Yeah, so we have an artist registry. So if you are an artist in Long Beach, we definitely recommend that you get on that registry. That's what we use when the city asks us for an artist for a different project. We refer them to our registry, and it gets a lot of traction. Also, Metro, their tap cards, almost all of the artists came from our registry. So if you're an artist in Long Beach and want to get seen, that's the first stop. And so as opportunities come up, that's where everybody's going to be going to, looking for artists to commission for projects.
Great, and I know you've got some special guests up there. Explain who you brought with you today to watch sailing here at the Congressional Cup, probably for the first time for a lot of them.
Yeah, so we brought some of our staff. We have Sergio, we have Daniel, we have Jude here, and we also have Violet, one of our board members here. So they're all here to support you and help out with promoting arts and culture in Long Beach.
All right, great. I hear a warning signal, so I'm going to head out of the studio here, let Tucker come back in. But thank you so much. Please let us know, where can people find more information on the Arts Council for Long Beach?
Yes, our website is artslb.org, or you can follow us on Instagram at artslb. So hopefully we'll see you there.
All right, thank you, Lisa. We'll be right back. Cut to a quick commercial here, and Tucker Thompson will be back in the seat ready to go shortly.
Behind every great start line is the Long Beach Sailing Foundation, preserving and maintaining our legendary Catalina 37 fleet. Their work allows the world's best match racers to compete on equal terms right here in Long Beach.
If you love seeing these Catalina 37s on the starting line, please consider supporting the Long Beach Sailing Foundation with a tax-deductible donation. Your generosity helps keep our iconic fleet afloat, literally, and ensures these boats continue serving sailors for generations to come.
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to our live coverage of the 61st Annual Long Beach Yacht Club Congressional Cup here in Long Beach, California. The second largest
spectator event in Long Beach.
Amazing. It's incredible. And the reason is you guys watching live here on the Belmont Pier throughout the weekend, of course, as we get towards the end of this thing. This pier is going to be so packed, it's standing room only. So we welcome all of you guys here on the pier, and, of course, we welcome everyone live on YouTube and Facebook and on thecongressionalcup.com. Tell your friends to watch if they're not here. And also, if you're local, tell your friends, why aren't you here? Come down to the pier if you're not already. Thanks for joining us. We're back into the start of Flight 14 of 18 flights in this second round robin qualifying series here. And our start, as you can just see there off the signal boat end, is Yanni Berntsson. And he's up against Ian Geretta. Geretta coming into your left of screen has a spinnaker up. Berntsson does not. Geretta jibing away. That is an unusual way to enter the pre-start.
Absolutely. I think that the spinnaker call here wasn't necessarily the best call. I think the breeze has come up enough now that you can get away with it with just the Genoa. Berntsson doing a great job. He's going to push Geretta down into coffin corner. Geretta doing a bad job.
There's no other way to say it. I mean, a couple things you don't want to do. Jibe away from your competitor if you enter on port. Have the jib halfway up and the kite halfway down when you're doing it. Or get to this position, left of that yellow buoy in the background, known as coffin corner, and for good reason.
Absolutely. You have very little rights coming out of there, and Berntsson can just sit there and hold you and either draw a penalty or just make you miss your start.
All right, so things looking very difficult for our young French team. Geretta, Berntsson, 17 Congressional Cups, 2009 winner, and he's currently looking at a strong spot in the semifinals if he keeps this up. Again, Berntsson, Monin, and Poole are mathematically the strongest competitors, also, not surprisingly, Crimson Blazer winners, but they can screw it up if they lose every single race today, Marilyn. Is that likely?
I wouldn't say that it's likely, but I think in baseball we talk about, mathematical elimination, and there's still a lot to play for today, honestly.
Absolutely. The flights I'm really keen to look at and very interested in are still Bourc and Tapper. Later on this flight, we're going to see Bourc face Poole, and that's kind of the match to watch, in my opinion, and that's going to be our featured match for this today, onboard cameras.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see the young Danish guns go up against the calm, cool, collected Chris Poole.
Poole is cool.
Poole is looking cool, and Berntsson is looking not burnt.
Oh.
I don't know. The orange is sort of a burnt orange some days, right?
All right. Oh,
Hazmat orange.
Listen, I got to apologize to you guys watching. Our jokes usually get this bad later in the day, and we are early in this second flight. It's going to be a long one. A long one for Geretta more than anything else. That's him, number 4. He can't jibe or turn to his left because guess what? Berntson's right there to close the door under the rules. And if he turns right, Berntson's going to swing behind him and close the door. Back there, upper left, is your starting line. That's what they want to get to in a minute and a half. And behind them is the Belmont Pier where we are and all the fans here in Long Beach. And if you're a fan of the French team, you're nervous.
Yeah, being in coffin corner is anxious at the best of times.
1 minute to go. And Ian Geretta, you're still heading in the wrong direction, buddy. I'm sure he knows that, but, well, they can hear us. That's how close they are to this pier. But I just wonder, okay, Sam, honestly, what's going through the French team's mind right now?
It's a really, really tough spot to be in. I think they're probably thinking, merde, was the only thing they would be thinking. But, yeah, Yanni doing a great job. He's a lot of control. They're both going to be late to the line, but Berntson's going to be less late. And at the end of the day, you just have to beat the other boat.
Less late. Now, to be fair, and you brought up a good point with Geretta, okay, we're off to the wrong side of the starting line and we're going to be late. We're not going to make the start. Really, that doesn't matter. The race is just between his opponent. So what he's doing is staying close to Berntsson, minimizing the damage. It doesn't really matter when the two boats cross the line. It just matters how close he is to Berntsson. So there's Berntsson ahead, and there was the starting gun. If you heard it in the background, you can see to the left is the starting line. These guys are going to start in another minute, I'm going to guess, and that's when we're going to see the entry of the next two boats in the background. That might come into play. We'll see. Either way, we're racing from this point, even though we haven't crossed the line yet, with Geretta behind I mean, you could even, if you're Geretta, you could put a tack in.
You could try. I'm not sure he's actually even making the pin quite yet. He's well below pin ley line still, so attack might help, but I don't know what to do if you're Geretta here.
Well, one thing that Geretta knows is that Yanni Berntsson's also not going to make it across the signal boat for two reasons. He could hit it, but also he's got an entering starboard boat. And what that means is Bernttsson's going to have to tack as well. So Geretta's going to wait for that and hope that that gives him an opening, at least to have clear air. Both teams are running out of room. It's a collision course for Berntsson with the team that's entering the start now. Berntsson probably going to duck behind him and then slow down and then luff up behind the transom of the sailboat, above the bow of the committee boat. Incredible maneuvering. And he pulls it off, and that was what Geretta was waiting for before he puts his tack in. So you got a four-way tussle here in the pre-start. Let's just remind you in the background who that start is. It's Angstrom and Monin. And Berntsson was just ducking Angstrom, and poor Geretta is now stuck in the middle of this as well. My goodness, who's who?
Yeah, Berntsson is closest to us on the screen, just above Monin, who came in on blue and is crossing over Angstrom, but disrupting Geretta.
So the two boats to your right are in the pre-start. The two boats to your left, if you're trying to follow this, are actually racing upwind. Geretta trailing Berntsson to the far left, and we shift our focus back into the pre-started. Spinnakers are going up.
Yeah, the two red shirt teams are both going kite up here. I think that the trailing team, Angstrom, had a much better spinnaker set, but Monin's not to be counted out. He's really strong in these conditions, and frankly, I'm a bit confused. They both have red shirts on, so it's red versus red, I guess.
Let's go with the spinnaker colors at this point. Monin in the pink Celtic bank spinnaker, and Angstrom in the green F&M bank. This is the battle of the bankers. Spectator fleet coming into play. Sometimes they get used as a pick, and that's a great view. I mean, how close is that? It's kind of like Monaco, Formula One. You're looking right down on the competitors. Here comes a jibe onto starboard from Monin. Angstrom has to avoid, and he does. Jib's going up, kite's coming down. They're going to put those in the bank. No, they're depositing them down the hatch.
Oh, that's enough of that.
All right, I'm going to withdraw these statements.
With just a little
I thought you
under
were interested. Never mind. Okay,
just a little less than 2 minutes until the start. It looks like Monin has decided to lead back, maybe in part because Angstrom has gotten a bit deeper in the box than he was originally.
Sam, I really thought you were invested in my bank jokes.
No comment.
I wish we had onboard audio, don't you, right about now?
Yeah.
We will,
cut to the onboard audio
later. We will at the end of this flight. We have our feature match coming up. Great shot there. This is both skippers looking at each other. Clock ticking down. We've got a minute and 20 seconds to go. I can probably get at least one more bad bank joke in that amount of time. Just give me a moment to think about it.
Well, looking up the course here, what are we seeing? I quite like the left actually right now, like middle left. Yanni Berntsson kind of middle left, and the French out far left.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a left shift right now as the breeze has been filling in. Not unusual for Long Beach at this time of day, just as we're having this clearing breeze and the velocity is coming up.
Back into the pre-start here. We're 40 seconds to go. And do you think Angstrom's in a good position, banking on a good start on account of being to leeward of his opponent?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see us right now, but everybody in the box just grimaced from these bank jokes. We're getting killed over here.
Even me, I apologize. There's the pin, top of screen, and Monin is reaching towards it right now, just trying to keep an overlap.
He's going for the attack here. I think Angstrom might not be able to defend it. Monin has really good pace. He's pushing him down the line here.
10 seconds. Angstrom's not going to be able to live in that spot. It's going to be a beautifully timed start for Monin, who's just trimming his final bit of his sails in now as he luffs up towards the pin. Here's the gun.
And Angstrom maybe going for a luff here?
Well, Angstrom's got to tack out of there, right? It was Monin. I'm sorry, Angstrom going for a luff. Monin has to tack out of there, and he does. Angstrom just struggling to get up over that pin. Don't hit it.
You can really just see the composure on the Swiss team compared to the Swedes. The Monin looks cool, calm, and collected, and the Swiss, there's a little bit more running around and just trying to get off the line.
have so many more bank jokes in my head. I'm literally keeping them there.
Oh, please.
Like we'll have to check in later with those two.
And on the far part of our screen here, you can actually see Yanni Berntsson setting his spinnaker and rounding the windward mark by maybe 10 lengths. He's had a very dominant leg here, and there's not much the French can do other than gamble and throw the dice, which is not somewhere you want to be in match racing.
Nope. Okay, that was the 4-minute entry period back down into the pre-start. And this is going to be Aurélien Pierro from France and Scott Dixon from Long Beach Yacht Club in that purple grand spinnaker entering from the left-hand side with plenty of pace. Jib going up, kite coming down, boat turning into the wind. It's going to be a tack with a spinnaker at the top of the rig. Now, Sam, one thing you want to do is hit the brakes as soon as you can in the dial-up. By having a spinnaker at the top of your rig and the windward sheet pegged, it's 2 good ways to do it.
Yeah, Dixon certainly did a great job hitting the brakes there. The crew work we've seen from Dixon all weekend has just been incredible, and I think the French should be a bit nervous with how he stopped the boat there.
Dixon backing his jib, turning right. Is he going to get down below his opponent under the rules? If there's a collision, it will go against Scott Dixon.
He's got it. It's going to be a steel balls play there. That's kind of a classic textbook match racing play, and Scotty Dixon just pulled it off.
Wow. Now Pierro will jibe behind Dixon and look to stay close enough to him to pin him from jibing back towards the line later, but he's got to accelerate through Dixon's dirty air.
And Dixon doing everything he can to get pace on to hopefully mount another attack on the French.
Great boat handling in these light airs, Marilyn. The breeze starting to slowly increase as you'd expect here in Long Beach.
Absolutely. We easily have another 2 or 3 knots from when we got started in some pretty light conditions this morning.
And Dixon, with a little bit less pace than the French here, the French have done a good job not giving Dixon the room to mount another attack. And Dixon jibing around onto starboard here.
Easier said than whatever you said there.
It looks
Leading.
like it's light enough that Scott Dixon still wants to lead back to the line based on that jibe, but it's still quite early. He will have a little bit of time to kill, perhaps.
Easily 45 seconds to kill before we need to get to the starting line. And here comes Geretta. Or Pierro, rather, sorry, the other French team. Here comes Pierro trying to get a overlap on Dixon, who's not going to allow that to happen. Dixon just matching. Both boats swing up, probably 3-4 feet or more between the two boats. No overlap. Umpires are in position. Now Dixon to leeward. There is an overlap, but a lot of gauge between the boats. Can Dixon close Pierro out at the ley line for the signal boat there?
I don't think so, Tucker. I think it's a little bit too far. He's gone just beyond it.
Well, he might not be able to close him out, but Pierro really doesn't have a lot of options there. They're a length and a half to the start, and he can't tack because Dixon will tack with him and pin him. He can't bear off because Dixon is to leeward, so advantage the American team right now.
Absolutely. It's a really powerful position that Dixon finds himself in, and you can see from the luffing that he's not giving it up.
And Sam, just in the background, the orange buoys are the leeward gates. You can see one match rounding now. That's the French Geretta.
Yeah,
trailing.
So Yanni Berntsson. So Yanni Berntsson rounded the course left gate down here, and he had a pretty sizable lead still, probably 7 or 8 lengths, and he's just controlling the other French team at this point. There's not much they can do other than try to get away, but if I'm Yanni Berntsson, I'm just staying, I'm loose cover all the way around the race course.
There's not much that Pierro can do at this start. Here's the gun, and Scotty Dixon to the left of screen there is just beautifully timed this approach as he accelerates off the line in light air, and that's tight to leeward of his opponent. Just exactly what you want to do. Meanwhile, Pierro struggling to get up to speed and struggling to live in that tight windward position off of Dixon's hip. Likely to see attack, Marilyn?
Absolutely. It's so difficult to accelerate when you have someone tight to leeward like that. We should be looking for attack, I think, fairly soon.
from the French team. How long can you live there? If you look closely at the delta between the distance between the two boats, Pierro is just inch by inch slowly going back, and Dixon is actually working up underneath him. Yeah, time to go. Stop the bleeding for the French team, and Dixon tacks with him. In a nice puff, it looks like, Marilyn.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those lefty puffs that we've been seeing come down the race course.
There's the other two teams, 2 matches upwind. And then we leave these guys to it while we go back down to the pre-start. This time, Cole Tapper entering from the starboard side from Australia, up against Christian Prendergast from USA on the left side there. No spinnakers, Sam.
No, I think the breeze has come up enough now that it's not really beneficial to have the spinnaker up. Looks to me that Prendergast is going to get the downwind cross here.
Yeah. At some point, which is right there, he's now going across, and that is his fastest move to get away from the starboard tacker. But that came, I think, with some new pressure that entered the pre-start box here, and Prendergast had a bit of a tighter angle, maybe a little earlier entry than Tapper, who had to go over the top of the signal boat. But now we're over the top of the Belmont Pier in the background. Great viewing of this major Grade 1 international match race as part of the World Match Racing Tour, one of the founding events of the tour, now celebrating its 26th year, I believe. James Pleasant's the director's here. He'll correct us if we're wrong. We call him the walking press release. Here we are off the Belmont Pier. The beach in the background. Second largest spectator event. I think largest spectator aquatic event here in Long Beach, right?
I would say, and we've got that title until at least 2028, don't you think?
Now, there's a small event coming in 2028, Marilyn. What is it?
I had heard that there was something about the Olympics, perhaps even sailed right in these waters.
Right off of this pier. So you're looking at the future right here in Long Beach. I know we have some LA28 folks here this afternoon watching the sailing, getting a snapshot of what it's going to be like in a couple years' time. So welcome and congratulations on Summer Olympics. That'll be exciting. Sailing, of course, one of the disciplines. As we watch Prendergast trailing there, Tapper leading, 2 tacks there off the pier. You see that orange buoy just to leeward of Tapper. Prendergast can't go inside there unless he has enough room to do so. Now that's close to my eye. There's a flag and it could go either way. The umpires are now in position to make the call. If it's yellow, it goes against Tapper. If it's blue, it would go against Prendergast, but it's green, so no foul. That was really close.
Prendergast really wants a call, though. He's raised that Y flag repeatedly. We may get some more calls.
Why not?
Why not?
You're going to get a penalty with the contact with the obstruction.
Oh, Kirk, okay, our umpire expert, tell us what you saw.
Yeah, you're going to get a penalty here, contact with the obstruction.
Okay, so it wasn't going in there. It was the fact that he made contact with the exclusion zone buoy. Oh,
wow.
Man. I mean, there it is. Yep, thank you, Kirk. Blue flag.
Prendergast can't be happy with that. He came into the situation trying to pull a penalty and pulled the penalty on himself.
Well, that's part of the problem, right? If you let the umpires into your match, it can go against you when you ask the question with the Y flag, thinking your opponent might get the penalty, and that does happen in match racing. Sometimes, well, if you live by the sword, you can die by the sword as well. Unfortunately, Prendergast has found the tip of that spear. Tapper leading towards the line. We've got 42 seconds to go. Lots of time. Tapper's a bit early. He knows that he's fishtailing, killing time there. Prendergast may have an opportunity to attack him here or at some point on the race course. He's got to get rid of that penalty, and he knows it.
I think Tapper did a great job pushing Prendergast out to the right. Tapper seems to want the left, so they're coming together here.
Yeah, Tapper left up, slowed down quicker, and Prendergast is stuck to windward of him. Can't really go anywhere. To the right, he's got the committee boat. To the left, he's got Tapper, so he's stuck in a difficult position as the match before them, Yanni Berntsson, crosses the finish line. Berntsson had trouble with one of the matches at the start, and now he's having to avoid the next match at the finish as he takes an important win. And Tapper crosses the line just ahead of Prendergast, who's in trouble. Prendergast has to luff up. Now Tapper has to avoid him, but he can't go above head to win, and he can't hit the signal boat. How close is that? Oh, there's got to be contact. It looks like a Prendergast sandwich.
It looked like a Prendergast sandwich to me. He's got to be very careful of that anchor road, too.
Oh,
off the
no,
committee
it's
boat.
a yellow
It's
flag.
a yellow
so
penalty.
Tapper got the penalty. Now both penalties are offset, and Prendergast is clean to race up win. And a yellow flag means that Tapper was over early.
That's salt in the wound, Tucker. Tapper had that really well controlled, and the tide just changed completely of the race. Prendergast is sailing out to the right now with full speed.
Yellow penalty, windward leeward.
Man, I mean, so we were just talking about that. If you put the match in the umpires, in the hands of their decision, Tapper had this whole race in the bag, and in about 5 seconds, Prendergast is off to the right, in the lead. No penalty. Remember, we'd say anything can happen. It just did. That was fantastic. We'll have to ask both of them about that in tonight's press conference at the Long Beach Yacht Club. But we have to get back into the next match, and this is our feature match. Chris Poole to the right-hand side, two-time champion, world rank #1, Jeppe Bourc on the left side. And here we are into the dial-up.
And we're seeing a green flag off the committee boat here and a few sound signals. I believe we're changing course to go to the green mark up at the windward mark. It's going to be a right shift that we're seeing on the course.
Okay, and the sailors will be picking up on that as well. This our all-important match. Now, Bourc, as you mentioned, has to win this if he wants a shot at the top 4. Poole arguably has probably got it in the bag in the top 4. We'll see, but to beat Poole and still try to make it into the top 4, Bourc has a really tall order.
Absolutely.
He's up against.
There's only one person who's beat Poole this weekend or this week so far, and that's Yanni Berntsson, who's won every match today so far.
Now, as we said, just like in the last match, anything can happen. Look how great shots there from on board Poole's boat as Bourc falls behind, so there's no more dial-up. But we've seen this move from Poole time and time again this week. He's the aggressor when he's to the right and has starboard. He always jides back, always tries to get a penalty on his opponent and keep pinning the port boat, and here he does exactly that.
Absolutely. Bourc just put himself in a really tough position. What Poole does in every pre-start, if he's entering from starboard, he goes up for the dial-up, he waits for the other boat's bow to fall to port, and then he falls off on starboard and comes back, onto port and goes for an attack. He's done a great job pulling penalties.
Oh, great. Now we got onboard audio and onboard footage. I love it. It's going to be a great match.
Cut. 3, 2, 1, læg op.
I don't speak Danish, but I bet that was 3, 2, 1. Wait up.
You're a smart guy, Tucker.
Tell you what, 25 years of doing this here in Long Beach, best match racing event in the world. As Poole has enough gauge to go back at Bourc again if he wants to, and plenty of time, minute 35 to go. But he's not. He's reaching off to the right. Marilyn, new pressure here filling in as the sky's clear in Long Beach. What do you see?
Absolutely. I think that there's still a little bit more pressure on the left from where I'm sitting, but it's up across the board.
All right, so we'll see if these teams want the left. It'll be whoever leads in towards the start in front of their opponent will be able to get to the left or at least make the decision. And now I just heard that Chris wasn't very happy with what Bourc just did. Bourc just stole the lead by jiving back first and getting over top of Poole's bow. And only a minute to go, so Bourc has the lead in back to the line if he wants it. Now Poole is trying to go for a hook, trying to overlap him.
And Poole here with really, really great pace. We've seen this all week from Poole, is that he's just had such great pace. Great attack from Poole here, and pulling the flag already.
Oh, look how close it is. Pulls the leeward boat. Bourc has to avoid contact. Oh, that was close. Ooh, that was in English too. Trim. Another flag. Contact for sure. Umpires are going to make the call, and no one knows who it's going against, but Bourc might be in a bit of trouble as he crosses the line. And 23 seconds, he's close to being early. Green flag, no penalty. Will we see another question? Yes. The answer is blue flag penalty from the umpire. The call goes against Bourc. We're not finished yet. The clock ticking down. Still 10 seconds to go. Bourc's in a bit of trouble. Doesn't want to be over early. Poole just behind to the left. Here comes the gun. We're off. Upwind. Incredibly feisty pre-start there as Chris Poole tacks away from Bourc, who has a penalty to shed now.
Penalty was windward leeward. Windward boat didn't keep clear.
Thank you, Kirk Brown. That was Bourc, who didn't keep clear, and he knows it. So now does everybody else.
I think that start was a great example of what Pool's been doing really well all week, which is he can start the boat really well as far as boat speed and acceleration, and he's really aggressive in the pre-start and trying to pull a penalty. Bourc's now on the back foot right off the bat.
We've been saying all week at the top level of match racing, you have to have short-term memory loss, which means he's got to shake that off, ignore it, focus now on the game ahead as he splits Maryland to the right, Pool all the way to the left. Big split.
Big split, and really interesting actually, because we're in a little bit of a right phase in terms of the pressure, but it still looks like there might be a little bit more velocity on the left.
Okay, that's where Pool is headed, left of screen on board with the green and black gear, and of course on port to the right of screen, heading to the right. Perfectly set up by our technical production crew. There is Bourc. Nobody's tacking yet. And down at the bottom, you can see the delta between the two teams. It's about a quarter mile. And the bigger the split, Maryland, the bigger the danger for both teams. Only one's going to be ahead when they converge. Already, Bourc is tacked.
It's a high-risk maneuver for both teams, but clearly both tacticians see something that they really like.
Well, and you know in sailing, Sam, you have to play the hand you're dealt when you're going upwind. Pool's got to work the left. You can't just cross all the way to the other side of the race course. And Bourc has got to work the right. It's established. Now, who's going to be ahead?
Got to go win your side, Tucker. The Danes actually here have tacked and are headed back towards the middle of the course. Pool tacking now as well. We'll see them come together here. I actually quite like how the Danes have gone here out on the right side. They seem to have good pace.
Let's listen in with Chris Pool. I didn't know Chris spoke Danish. Okay, so we got onboard footage from Chris Pool and audio from. Oh, there we go. Got both. Perfect. We can hear what they're both saying. I can only understand one.
He'll be in front by that much by then.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, sounds like
key.
the Danes have gone well, and I might be right here. First time for everything.
Chris Pool said he might be ahead, and he's got starboard advantage. So even if it's close, under the rules, it's going to be Bourc. Bourc needs to win this. He has a penalty to get rid of, and it's close at the top of the track. Here we go. Bourc has rights at the mark. He will tack around. That tack will slow him down. Meanwhile, coming in with massive pace is Chris Pool. Two-time winner of the Congressional Cup, has his sights set on Bourc. Here comes the hoist from the American team just behind the Danes. Beautiful crew work on board both teams. As Pool works inside of his opponent, setting up for the next jibe. Oh. Yep, they Bourc with that blue flag penalty on the umpire boat. Bit of trouble there. Look how close. There's an overlap for sure. Is that Mal Parker up in the bow?
That's Harry West up on the
Harry
bow.
West, sorry. That's what I meant. And he doesn't even need to call the overlap anymore. That's how obvious it is. Maybe our camera person can pan down so we can see the piece of the boat that he is on. Well, there it is right there, as close as you like. And Bourc can't jibe. Look at that. We're looking up. Chris Pool sails from the windward boat. That's incredible. Pool just seems to have that extra gear of speed. He went into that mark rounding behind, and now he's regaining.
Well, and the Danes had a lot on there. They, attack set is a very hard maneuver, especially with your opponent being this close and coming in on port leg.
Yeah.
I love this. Just how close are these two boats overlap heading downwind. Bourc cannot get a jibe in or risk a foul. Now, if he is able to get a jibe in without hitting Pool, giving him time to avoid, he'll be on starboard. And as a leeward boat, here we go. Simultaneous jibes of both teams. Pool looking to roll. Bourc looking to luff his competitor and give Pool an offsetting penalty. The aggression from the Danes works against them. Pool pulls forward. The kite collapsing for Bourc. Bowman struggling to keep it going. Poole takes the lead here at the bottom of the track.
Things getting rather exciting on Bourc's boat there. Poole keeping his cool here.
Big trouble for Bourc. The jib is not going up, the kite is not coming down, and they are not passing Poole, who is in the lead, rounding ahead. Big trouble for the Danish team as they have to sail to the opposite gate just to sort the mess out. Pretty sure I understood that in Danish. Not happy.
Not happy at all.
Apologize for the, we usually say apologize for the French, right? But apologize for the Danish on there. Yeah. Okay.
And we're seeing a bit of difference here, Tucker. Poole took the left last time and lost. They definitely noticed that, and now they've claimed the right side, and the Danes headed out to the left with a little bit of a disadvantage to them. They're probably 2 boat lengths back.
Spot on, Sam. Good observation there in Maryland. Another big split, but this time the opposite situation, as Sam mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. In the last one, we saw this right phase that we're in pan out for the boat on that side. So I imagine that's what Chris Poole and his team are looking for.
On board with Poole. This is Poole to the right. Left of your screen, right as we look upwind on the race course, and he tacks onto starboard to have a first look at his opponent, down to leeward there, all the way to the left side of the course. This is a nervous moment for both teams. As we mentioned, only one of them is going to get it right. The farther apart they are, the bigger the win or the loss. Jeppe Bourc decides it's time to tack and go for the windward mark. And he does. Now he'll get his first look at whether they've chosen the correct side of the course or not when they see Chris Poole below their sails. Close.
Tucker, it looks to me that Poole's gone very well and actually extended his lead out on the right side.
I'm not too sure about that, Marilyn. What do you think?
It's awfully close, but I do think that Poole has extended. It's still neck and neck.
Yeah, Poole, Jeppe Bourc is going to be looking for any opportunity here to try to be as close as possible and then pull a penalty over Poole here. I don't think there's any room at this point for him to kill it on the finish line.
I'm telling you, I think it's a lot closer than we realize, even though you see some distance between the two boats. From the left, Jeppe Bourc coming in with a head of steam. It's basically the opposite of what we saw on the first leg, where the lead boat tacked in front at the mark. Now it's Poole who's going to be slow, and it's Jeppe Bourc who's coming in with pace from behind. 1 length separating the two teams. The Americans rolling into the spinnaker hoist. The Danes just behind. Can Jeppe Bourc return the favor that was handed to him on the first run and regain the lead over world rank #1, Chris Poole?
And you can see on the bottom of your screen there, the umpire is still flying the blue flag. That's Jeppe Bourc, who's trailing this match just by a boat length or 2. He's got a lot on to make up for this.
I'll bet Bourc wishes he could have had the opportunity to offset that penalty when the two were overlapped on the first run. But Poole just outsailed him, no question. Now, Poole in the lead by a length and a half or so, and Bourc can't get rid of that penalty if he's behind, that's for sure. Tactician Jakob Aschenbrenner saying could be 2 quick jibes as they step down to get to the finish. And Bourc is looking to jibe on top of his breeze. That's Bourc in the blue spinnaker behind and to leeward, trying to jump on top of Poole's breeze. Poole jibes first, needs to come out on a higher angle. So does Bourc. Simultaneous jibes. Bourc does look like his spinnaker is affecting the Americans just a little bit. That yellow plethora business spinnaker just struggling to fly. So Bourc doing everything positionally correct at this point. Time is running out, though, and he still has that penalty.
straight to the pin.
And you're down if you like.
Happy with angle?
Copy that. Keep the weight up, guys.
What an awesome match from the pre-start all the way around the track.
Super cool to have the onboard video for this match. I think the boys in charge of that made the right call putting them on for this one.
Cliff and the 1080 media team picked the right match in this one. That is for sure fantastic, except if you're Bourc, because Bourc needs this win, but he'd have to beat Poole. And how many people can say they've done that? Not many in this modern Congressional Cup. One more jibe for Bourc, and it is all but over as that yellow spinnaker in the background heads for home in front of the Belmont Pier. Two-time Congressional Cup winner Chris Poole and Riptide Racing will take this match as well.
I believe that's 13-1 for Chris Poole.
Don't put in the water. Touch the foot.
Love it.
I have a little bit of good news, though, for Jeppe Bourc and his team. Cole Tapper lost his match to Christian Prendergast, so as far as the battle for fourth goes, there's still all day to play for.
Excellent point, Marilyn Cassidy.
And do I have it right, Marilyn, that so Tapper won his first match and lost his second match? Bourc won his first match and lost his second match.
It's neck and neck.
All to play for.
Guess who Bourc sails in the next flight? Guess who Tapper sails in the next flight, folks?
Oh, I think I know, and I think I know who we're going to have onboard coverage with. This is going to be the match to watch and the most exciting one of the day.
Flight 15, start number 3, Bourc against Tapper. Only one of them is going to win, and that is for all the marbles. Both of them looking for a shot in that 4th spot in the semifinals. Okay, well, I've received word that we might get a chance to interview the winner. Well, all right. Well, let's go on board with the winner, Chris Poole and Riptide Racing.
Yeah, we just finished our race against Jeppe Bourc here in the second round robin. We were yellow entry and had a good dial-up and then control, and he was a little bit early back to the line, which gave us pretty strong positioning, and he fouled us in one of the luffs there, and so he started off the line with a penalty, and Joachim did a great job of getting us up the course and staying close, and we were able to have a really nice fairway set and get inside of Jeppe, and he had no options to jibe to the gate, and we picked our time back to the gate, and from there the crew did a great job, and yeah, happy to take the win there and keep working towards the semifinals tomorrow.
Incredible. That's awesome. Just like any other top-level competitor at the top of any sport, Chris just went through every single situation in that race. I can't even remember half of it, and we were watching it with multiple cameras. That was a perfect summary and a perfect match race if you're Chris Poole. Another win as he cements his spot in the top 4 semifinals. We will start those anyway, at the midway through tomorrow. Of course, only the top 2 will move on to win the Crimson Blazer. Who will it be? You'll have to stay with us here in Long Beach. We'll be back in a few moments.
Behind every great start line is the Long Beach Sailing Foundation, preserving and maintaining our legendary Catalina 37 fleet. Their work allows the world's best match racers to compete on equal terms right here in Long Beach.
If you love seeing these Catalina 37s on the starting line, please consider supporting the Long Beach Sailing Foundation with a tax-deductible donation. Your generosity helps keep our iconic fleet afloat, literally, and ensures these boats continue serving sailors for generations to come.
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
All right, Ryan Sanders here again on the pier with a very special guest. I have a Long Beach Yacht Club member, Grant Janoff, who actually is in the middle of a U.S. Olympic campaign. Is that right?
That's correct.
So tell me, what does it take? Well, first and foremost, why don't you tell us which event you're in? Because it's very relevant to what we're doing here today.
Yeah, so my sailing capacity is Olympic sailing, specifically in the men's double-handed skiff. So I sail with my brother, Jordan Janov. And we've been campaigning in the 49er for a year and a half or so, full time. And we aim to campaign for the next 6 years, looking for competing in the Olympic Games in LA 2028 and in Brisbane in 2032.
Okay, so you've got a whole 6-year program going. But more importantly, we are 2 years away from the Olympic Games right here in Long Beach, your hometown. Tell me what takes place to get ready for the Games. I know we've got the Olympic classes regatta. What does your program look like right now in Long Beach?
Right, so my brother and I sail about 6 or 7 49er events a year if we can, and we're actually leaving for the 2026 World Championships next week. But in terms of the training at home, we're often sailing here 5 days a week throughout the summer and a little bit in the winter if the conditions are still good. So it's a really great place to sail and focus on different skills and different kinds of conditions, because Long Beach is a great spot for sailing in puffy conditions if you want on the inside and flat water, or if you want to challenge a little bit more in the ocean with some swell and some sea state, you can also get that too.
And what's the average size of a fleet for these 49er events you're attending?
The last regatta we did had 100 boats in it.
Wow, 100 boats. A lot more than the 2 that are out here at a time at the Congressional Cup. Have you been to a Congressional Cup before?
This is my first one, actually. It's really cool to see all the tight racing that goes on in this. It's really exciting.
Cool. So I'm going to leave you one last question here, if you will. So you are here in town getting ready for this Olympic campaign. How many days a week are you on the water?
At least 5. 5 days in the gym, 5 days on the water.
Awesome. Well, Grant, I wish you the best of luck. I know myself, the rest of the Long Beach Yacht Club members will be cheering you on and watching with bated breath to see how the racing goes in 2 years here in 2028. But in the meantime, we'll be right here on the water for the Olympic Classes Regatta this July. Is that right?
That's correct. We look forward to racing, and thanks for the time.
All right. Thanks, Grant. We will talk to you soon. I appreciate you coming to the pier. We'll be right back with more racing here at the 61st Annual Congressional Cup.
Behind every great start line is the Long Beach Sailing Foundation, preserving and maintaining our legendary Catalina 37 fleet. Their work allows the world's best match racers to compete on equal terms right here in Long Beach.
If you love seeing these Catalina 37s on the starting line, please consider supporting the Long Beach Sailing Foundation with a tax-deductible donation. Your generosity helps keep our iconic fleet afloat, literally, and ensures these boats continue serving sailors for generations to come.
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
Okay, so as we continue our discussion about the 2028 games to come here in Long Beach and Los Angeles, I think it's important to highlight on the city of Long Beach, the infrastructure. So infrastructure, here I've got Assistant Chief Jake Heflin. Jake, tell us a little bit about the fire department here in the city of Long Beach.
Well, certainly the Long Beach Fire Department has been providing and securing our city since 1897, so a long-standing history of service to our community, and certainly 61 years here with the Congressional Cup. What an exciting event this is. Certainly perfect weather today, showcasing our beautiful city. We're just thrilled to have everyone watching this great event.
Yeah, and it is such a great event, and it's important to have resources like we have with you guys and your team. And I know our own Scott Dixon was a Commodore a few years ago. He works with you. And tell me, who manages the water in the area here around the pier in Long Beach?
Well, certainly, it's a combination of multiple partners. We obviously have various city departments that have an impact directly here on the waterways and the ocean front here. But primarily, as far as the safety goes, it's the Long Beach Fire Department Marine Safety Division, and that's our lifeguards. And our lifeguards do a great job. Not only are they manning the towers on the beach, but they're also securing our waterways with our rescue boats. And then we also have a very robust fireboat program, which are the large boats in the port. So all these things to say, well, the Long Beach Fire Department is here to protect and serve our community and making sure we're doing a great job and making sure all these racers out here are safe.
All right, well, I thank you for stopping by. I know it's abbreviated here, but we're going to get right back into racing momentarily. And thank you for everything you do for the city. We really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here, and we're super happy to have everyone watching this today. Enjoy this beautiful city, Long Beach. We're happy to have you.
All right, Tucker and Sam will be right back after this.
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
Live here in Long Beach, California. We've seen 2 flights so far. Now we're going back down to the water live for the third one here. This will be Dixon and Oscar Angstrom. Scott Dixon. Angstrom's going to be entering from the starboard side. Scotty Dixon entering on port.
Quick little breeze update here. What do you think, Marilyn? You know a lot more than me about sailing here.
I have a couple of days on the water here, and I think that we're seeing maybe just a little bit more velocity, but it really seems more evenly filled in on the right and left than before, maybe even a little bit of right bias.
Gotcha. The only thing I'm seeing is the ship is starting to swing up top. Does that mean a righty's coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. Often the breeze is stronger the further out from the pier that you go, and so we'll start to see some of those big container ships or tankers that are anchored offshore start to move before we even see that shift.
Right now, to my eye, it looks like some relatively good local pressure off the line to the left as we
Actually not that bad. Up to you, mate.
We listen in on board. Our match here, 3 minutes to go to the start. Dixon still on port. Angstrom has tacked away.
Angstrom with a really nice bit of pace here.
Just going to say the same. Huge acceleration away from Dixon. He's got enough distance to go back at him on starboard if he wants in 2 minutes and 44 seconds to do it. Poole would have gone back.
Yeah, I'm a bit shocked to not see him go back and try to pull a penalty there.
It's a balance, though, because we've seen in the other matches that sometimes the penalty can go on you if there is an unusual error. So why ask the question? At least right now they're looking long term. Let's just get to the right, come up with what side they want to favor, Maryland, and then final approach. So the dial-up is done. We're not going to engage, at least yet, with 2 minutes 15 to go. scores up the win record on all of this if we could. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Couple jibes there for Angstrom in front. The pier is just off to the right of screen. And the lead boat usually uses the pier as a pick or an obstruction. In order to do that, though, you've got to get really close to it, and therefore the trailing boat can't go inside. Dixon knows that, so he's going to stay up here to windward. In fact, is he going to try and reach over the top of Angstrom?
I think he is. He seems to have a good bit of pace on, and Angstrom's just a hair slower than he is right now.
And the fans getting a great view. Long Beach Yacht Club's own Scotty Dixon, 23 Congressional Cups. Angstrom won.
Yeah.
Minute 15. Dixon getting over the top of Angstrom. No foul at this point, even though there was a small overlap. And now we're into the middle of the pre-start box with 1:05 to go and a lot of time to kill. As Dixon checks his watch. There's the 1 minute mark. Right about now, Dixon needs to be thinking hitting the brakes, turning head to wind, slowing down. And that asks the question of Angstrom. Does he want to go to leeward or to windward? And in fact, it's a full tack, so Dixon wants the right, Marilyn.
Interesting. We are in a little bit of a right phase, but to your point before, there is a little bit of localized pressure on the left right now.
Yeah, there's that typical Maryland answer, right? Right and left, yes and no. Maybe, maybe not.
It's a lot of, you got to cover your bases. I respect it.
All right, so Dixon shifted to the right of his opponent. He's got that, but he's in a bit of trouble right now. I'm not sure with 19 seconds to go I would have tacked away from the start like that. And now Angstrom is aggressive, trying to pin Scotty from getting that jibe in. That is the jibe complete onto starboard. Okay, no foul there, but Dixon's going to be behind with 5 seconds to go. Angstrom jibes in front of him, heads for the line. Too much, too late for Scott Dixon.
Yeah, Angstrom handled that perfectly. It's, you see, I can hear Scotty yelling from here, actually, and throwing his hands up. He's not happy with that.
Well, a lot of that was predicated by the decisions that were made about 40 seconds ago. Either way, here's the result. Dixon about half a length behind, tacking away from Angstrom, who has a narrow lead, and he is to the left. Dixon fought for the right, Maryland. Fought hard, paid a big price for it, but his bow is forward to the right. Will that help him?
It definitely could, being a little bit to the right of his competitor in this right shift.
All right, so Dixon initiates a tacking duel right off the start. What will Angstrom do?
Angstrom's going to continue out to the right. He seems to see something out there. I tend to have to agree with him here. After watching racing here for a couple days, the right later in the day, especially as the sea breeze socks in, has paid.
Okay, we're going to go back into the pre-start as that split continues upwind between Angstrom and Dixon. And meanwhile, start number 2.
Start number 2 is going to be Pierro, one of the French teams entering from the right side of the box, and Prendergast entering from the left side of the box.
Christian Prendergast on port from USA. Aurélien Pierro from France. Both of them first-timers here in the Congressional Cup and no dial-up.
No dial-up. I don't think Pierro thought he could get there. I'm kind of shocked to see that happen.
So is he, maybe. Usually in this breeze, boats get closer together, Maryland, and easy to maneuver in flat water and breeze, so we would expect a dial up there unless there was a righty shift.
Yeah, this is often one of the signs that there might be a little bit of right shift happening that we had sort of seen in that first match where the boat on port can cross above.
Well, either way he did. So now we've got a lot of time to kill off to the right-hand side of the playground, as you call it. Sam, just off the Belmont Pier.
Yeah, Prendergast leading in. Not quite enough distance for him to mount an attack here, but looks like he's jiving around now. Might be too no, I'm mistaken.
Well, I think we're going to see at least a circle or two. There's way too much time. And these circles just basically, Maryland, keep everything exactly the same. As long as you match your competitor, you're just killing time.
You're looking to match your competitor, but as with so many things in match racing, introducing additional maneuvers also introduces additional risk and additional things where something might go wrong and you could take advantage.
So one circle later, 2 minutes 18. We've got time for at least another circle if they want it. And then some. Pier has not come into play yet. And just real quick, while nothing's going on for the second, looking upwind. Didn't see who got ahead in that first cross there, but what side do you like, Maryland?
It looks like with each of the teams returning to the side that they had originally favored, Angstrom continues to favor the right, and I think my money's on him at this moment.
Okay, so Maryland likes the right. Both tacticians on these teams, Sam, will have made that decision as well as they start to come back towards the line.
Absolutely. That's definitely part of your decision-making process is if you're not the first start, you're absolutely looking up and seeing what are the people in front of me doing. I give it to Angstrom right now. I think he's gone pretty well out on the right.
Okay, we like the right. Now, you got 6 people on these boats, so 5 of them can be outmaneuvering the other, while 1 is at least keeping an eye on that upwind and communicating that to either skipper, Dixon, or Angstrom. Sorry, that was the first match. I'm stuck watching that. Pierro or Prendergast as we set up for final approach. That has been a long and relatively benign pre-start. Now it's time to get back into the box, under the line, and set up for final approach with Pierro leading, Prendergast trailing. There's the 1 minute mark. Prendergast not engaging, just keeping behind and to windward of his opponent. That's a signal that he probably wants the right. Pierro leading in and not asking the question yet. Both of these two teams kind of staying away from each other. This is what I call a benign pre-start. Sometimes when you've got the left boat who wants the left and the right boat who wants the right, which is rare, not much happens in the pre-start.
Absolutely, and when that happens, both tacticians look at each other like, uh-oh, did I make a mistake?
Who's going to be right? Marilyn, who was right at the top of the track? Real quick.
Yeah,
Who's ahead?
it looks like we have Angstrom ahead by a boat length or 2.
And he came from the
right.
Okay, so the right was right, which means Maryland was right, which means the boat to the right here is Prendergast off the line. 15 seconds. Prendergast, I would expect to be tacking here because he can't live tight to leeward in that position, but he's not. He's going bow down probably to build enough pace for that tack. And crossing the line first will be Pierro. Here's the gun. Now Prendergast rolls into attack. I almost wonder when he was kind of head to wind if he'd have just fallen off onto port and used the long speed build that way. It might have been a more of a gain plus a bit more leverage to the right. What do I know?
I'm not so sure, Tucker. I actually don't mind what he did. I think getting up to pace before you do any sort of maneuvers is generally a good thing.
Okay. Well, either way, it was a close start, but give it to the French team, I think, off the line anyway. And now Maryland, both teams sprinting to the right-hand side, both of them. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen, here in Long Beach and around the world, the match to watch. The teams that both have a shot in the top 4 semifinals are up next against each other as we shift our focus back to the pre-start. Remember Cole Tapper and Jeppe Bourc in the intro Sam mentioned, each of them looking for a spot at the top 4 semifinals. Only one's going to get it, and after 2 matches, they're tied on points. Only one's going to win. Well, for today, they are. Only one's going to win. Who's it going to be? Cole Tapper entering from the right-hand side or Jeppe Bourc getting across from the left and possibly no dial-up? Sam?
No, I think we're still going to see a dial-up. I don't think Bourc's going to be able to get across here, but he might. It's going to be close. Oh,
And
he
he
does.
does.
I was wrong.
Oh, man, it's going to be game on between these two. Really quick, Marilyn, are we still fighting for the right?
I think that we are still fighting for the right. We're in a right phase, and I think the velocity is looking fairly even across the race course.
And the boat from the left got across. That's Jeppe Bourc. We're on board with the Danes, listening in, on board with the with Tapper while listening to both. Everybody's standing up, looking upwind. This is what we were talking about. They're checking to see what's favored up there.
What are you thinking uphill though?
Tapper asking the question, just like we said. What do you think uphill? What do you think upwind? And we think the call is right as both boats reach over the top into the spectator fleet. Course is to our right. It's skewed to the right.
No jump for me yet, but getting close.
Tapper saying, I won't lead him to the jibe, but at some point soon, I will jump him. That means beating him to the jibe, and he does. Both boats jibe. So both boats have jibed. Tapper staying in the pushing position. 2:20 to go. And we think both boats want the right. We know Tapper does. Bourc leading. How close is that? Bow man on Tapper's boat signaling you can spin. No overlap. And they don't want the overlap just yet. Now going in for the overlap.
Crossing in front of me if we can. 2, 1, turning up on the breeze.
Tapper trying to get the bows going in opposite directions, trying to get a little bit of separation to windward
Racing up, racing up.
of Bourc. Full speed.
Stand by for, this is going to be a hard spin, okay? Ready for a hard spin? 2, 1, hard spinning, hard spinning.
Tapper with a full circle, minute and a half to do it in. Bourc looking to pin him from getting the jibe in. Tapper's ahead in the rate of turn. Tapper doesn't want to foul. Got to get that main over onto starboard. Now it fills. He's got rights.
Come on, come on! Up you go!
Did Bourc hesitate? Does Tapper have rights in there? Will we see collision?
Yeah, exiting on port upwind. Yeah, I know. Racing upwind here. Yeah, I know. Racing upwind, please.
1 minute to go. Both boats looking for speed. Tapper to the right of his opponent.
Stand by tack. 2, 1, tacking near, build the boat hard out.
And Bourc waiting for Tapper.
We just race the boat. He can't stop us. For me, George, shut out, Con, shut out, Con.
40 seconds to go. Tapper looking to start to the right of Bourc.
Just building up a little.
Tapper says he can't get to us. Can't get shut out, meaning he's going to try and go in there. Do you think he can?
I think he's going to have to push down the line, push Bourc down the line. I don't think he can go in right now.
Well,
Confirm the shutout. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Confirm the shutout means, are we going to get shut out by Bourc? I don't think they are. They're going to go for it, putting the bow down. Oh, maybe he did think so. So he's going for a hook. It's a late hook. Big mistake there, I think, for the Australians. Bourc is going to be bow forward. 10 seconds to go. No overlap. Tapper can't get to him. I know it's close, but it's not close enough. Bourc crossing the line at the gun, just ahead of the Australians.
1, tacking. Need to be fast, wide out of this. 2, 1, squeeze. Ready for a big bear away.
Sam Rosenbaum, did Tapper leave it just a hair too late to pull the trigger?
I think he did. I think there wasn't clear comms on board about whether he was shut out or not. I thought he was, but it's easy for me to sit in the booth and say that.
Indecision is not good at this level of match racing.
I think Bourc did a good job of keeping him on his toes, though, to sort of changing from that high luff down into a speed build at a time when Tapper was kind of out of position to take advantage.
Squeeze. Stand by, tack back. 2, 1, we build here.
2 down speed tacks from the Aussies.
1, squeeze.
And Bourc can pick his time to tack and build speed a little bit longer than Tapper. The Aussies in trouble.
Agreed. Very good. Big weight up. Two. Less of that.
You can hear both skippers calling the timing of the turn for the tack and then the timing of the weight up out of the tack so that the crew is in perfect sync. Tapper looking to get out of phase with Bourc on a different tack. It is air clear. And now Bourc responds. Here comes Tapper again. 6, 7 tacks and counting. Bit of a gain maybe to Tapper?
Maybe. I think he did a good job in all these speed builds. They built their they kept their composure and they really built the boat out of each tack.
So we just heard Tapper say we go to overlay. Planning the windward mark approach 2 or 3 minutes in advance from now. What does that mean?
They don't want to be put in a position where they're either in a dial-up or in a tack set, something like that. They don't want to be forced to do something they don't want to do. Even though they're back, they can still do something.
I know he's behind. I know he made a mistake at the start. I just feel like Tapper's ever so slightly clawing back at Bourc. Now he shifts to the right and Bourc lets him go. So Marilyn, if Bourc lets him breathe on one side, that means he's letting him go to the right. If he tacks hard on his face on the other side, it means he doesn't want him to go to the left of him.
Well, and look how close this cross is on screen now. I think that letting him get to the right there could have been a mistake from Bourc.
I agree. Tucker, you were talking about small gains there. I think Tapper has made gains. Their tacks might be a little better, and also, as Marilyn said, getting out to the right has been very beneficial for him.
Well, I was trying to say that you let your opponent breathe on one tack, the tack you don't want him, you don't care if he goes to, and you hit him hard on the tack where it's the favorite side. Well, it looked like Bourc wasn't sure which side he wanted to be. Tapper knew exactly what he wanted out of this, and now it's almost bow to bow, or worse. If you're Bourc, big mistake for the Danes. Let me rephrase that. Small mistake for the Danes could turn into a big error. If Tapper is able to luff him here and slow him down before the rounding, get into the zone ahead of his opponent. Can he do all that? He's done well to get back in this match, that's for sure. Can I just say we picked the right onboards in both of these. Here comes the luff from Tapper. Bourc tacks away. Tapper tacks simultaneous, bow to bow. Both teams heading into the windward mark. Only one of them will make the semifinals, and all the pressure is on as we roll into the Spinnaker set.
We hear Tapper saying, "Hold on the kite hoist there." He's worried about a luff from Bourc, or excuse me, from Tapper.
I'm just amazed at how Tapper has gotten himself not only back into the match, but back in control in just one beat.
It's a small mistake from Bourc, and Tapper knowing exactly what he wants from the beat certainly helps.
Oh, how close is that? So Bourc was able to hold up Tapper. Bourc sets the pace on the Spinnaker hoist. Beautiful job from both crews.
I think Tapper made actually a small gain there. I thought the kite was full just a second earlier.
Incredible crew work. What a match.
Stand by, Habibi. Hamish, stand by. 2, 1, jibing. Jibing.
Tapper knew he wanted to jibe, beat Bourc to the jibe. Actually, nope. Trouble there. They couldn't get the guy undone on the Spinnaker pole. That's a hesitation. Just at the moment where they want to jump on top of Bourc, that small crew error allows Bourc bow forward, air clear. It's his match still, but only just.
A little hotter, Brenno. Keep the weight up for those who can. 2, 1, yeah. Rolling down here.
Another little gain.
Down is good, right?
It's kind of like Tapper keeps gaining, and then Bourc just holds on to the lead, and then Tapper gains a little more, and then Bourc fights him off. Look how close this is.
And if I'm on Tapper's boat, I love this just slight to leeward position with what looks like an overlap from the onboard cameras. This could be a very powerful way to come into this gate.
Absolutely. Tapper's done a great job from the start onward of just control, and knowing what he's wanting and committing to it.
Just can't have him jibe, okay?
And there he is again, making the call. Tell you, Tapper has really done a good job, but he's not in the lead yet. Here's more jibes. Bourc from in front completes. Tapper now looking to come out at a hotter angle, looking to roll the leeward boat, looking to steal his air and steal his lead. Can he do it?
Oh, he has.
Close to a foul. Bourc is the leeward boat. Under the rules, he's got rights. It's a green flag, no foul. Game on. Both teams free to fight for the lead. Anybody's guess who's going to have it at the bottom of the track.
Let's get a pole off. Get a pole off, boys. What side do you want? Are you sure that's a long way down? It's a long way down to that mark. Right turn. Left turn.
Got their left and rights a little confused there.
Well, they are from Australia, after all, Tucker.
Okay, so it's a left turn looking downwind. They want the right upwind. They're going to jibe. Can they jibe in front of Bourc? Are they in the zone? I think so. One thing is for sure. Tapper has stolen the lead from Bourc here at the bottom of the track. He'll take the right-hand side, leaving Bourc to sail extra distance to the left. We've got a battle on our hands. Back up wind.
I only have Bourc about 5 seconds behind based on that gate rounding. This is incredibly close.
I couldn't be more impressed with how Tapper handled that pass back, and he knew what he wanted and he claimed it.
Not only did he know what he wanted at every moment in this race, he's been also telling the crew what he wants. And that actually surprises me that there's not a second set of eyes and leadership on this boat kind of taking over and giving Cole Tapper info rather than Cole continuing to ask for it. To me, he's a step ahead of his own crew is what that tells me.
Absolutely. It's most crews are not like that. He's a very impressive sailor.
But I'm not saying that's good, actually, because I as much as he's in the lead right now, he can only do so much. He should be focusing only on driving and getting more info rather than asking for more info. Now, I say that. He's in the lead, so no question there.
I agree.
He's made the next call. Now it's bow to bow. So, Marilyn, you just heard they're going to protect the right.
I think it makes a lot of sense to protect the right based on the success partly that he's had on that side, just when we saw up at that starboard ley line on the last weather leg.
So protecting the right means positioning his boat in front of and to the right side on the course of Bourc. And I wonder, did they just leave that tack a little early? Nope. Bourc is forced to tack away, and Tapper still protects the right. And Sam, you just heard Tapper say we go to zone now. That's the next move.
Yeah, they're going to try to get all the way up to the zone surrounding the windward mark.
So that's within
2 boat lengths.
And if he gets to the zone before Bourc, that means that he's got rights. Very strong position if he can hold on to this. A couple spinnakers in the background giving him dirty air. That will slow the Australians marginally, but not much. And meanwhile, Jeppe Bourc out to the left in fresh breeze with no wind shadows, no issues from the spinnakers. We're on board with Tapper. Big bow down from Bourc.
And I don't know if you heard that, Tucker, but Tucker, they eased just a little bit on Tapper's boat, maybe 1 degree, just to try to facilitate the turn down from Bourc.
Oh, man. It's close to an overlap. Doesn't get any closer than that in this game. What a perfect tack for Tapper. Just ahead of Bourc, who's not going anywhere. Both boats slowing down. Poles for the ready. Tapper will round ahead. Bourc just a little bit slow there as Tapper pulls forward. Aussie spinnaker goes up first. Now it's Bourc's turn.
And Tapper looking to lead the jibe. He's got a little bit of distance over Bourc, and he wants to get out. He wants to cross in front of him.
Oh, and a wrap, Marilyn.
Yeah, Bourc has a twist in that Long Beach Sailing Foundation kite as it comes up. They're just shaking it out, but that's costly.
Oh, my goodness. You can see the gas just going out of the tank on Bourc's boat with that unforced error, about a half a length loss. And they're having to regain their speed as Tapper just continues forward. I do like what Bourc did, though, during that spinnaker issue. He still, even though he was a bit slow, he kind of got to a lower lane. Even though he's farther behind, he's setting up already for the next maneuver, which will be to try to beat Tapper to the next jibe. Talk us through it.
He's looking to jump him. You know, he wants to jibe before Tapper does. Tapper's saying, I want to lead this jibe, but Bourc's trying to do the same thing. He wants to get on Tapper's breeze.
So to do that, he needs to steer as low as possible to the right of his opponent.
The gun is loaded on board Bourc's boat.
Just how calm things are on the Aussie boat. Tapper jibing, Bourc responding. Both boats coming out hot. Tapper looking to get his air clear forward. Bourc looking to steal it. No penalties. Whoever wins this race takes an all-important point in the 4th spot in the semifinals. It's Tapper's race to lose.
If he goes now, I'm almost happy to let him. Yeah, if he goes now, we let him. Good.
If he goes now, we let him.
Yeah, Tapper's happy to let Bourc jibe away. At this point, Tapper's pretty confident he might be on pin lay line, or he's got enough distance that he's not really that worried about it.
Frustration aboard Bourc, and he knows it. The race has been stolen from his grasp. The reality setting in. His chances of making the semifinals are no longer in his control.
Okay, standing by. 2, 1.
Thanks to that man with the yellow spinnaker, the Australian team, Cole Tapper. With possibly one of the coolest names in sailing.
The race car driver name.
With the Club 100 spinnaker being blanketed by Bourc, but that's no matter because he's crossing the finish line in front of the fans here at the Belmont Pier to take an all-important point, looking for his 4th spot in the semifinals. Let him hear you, folks. Cole Tapper. Whew, what a match.
Oh my gosh.
Edge of my seat the whole time.
The 1080 media guys have just killed it with what matches we're on board for. That's 2 great onboard matches, and Cole Tapper now with 2 points, and Bourc with 1 win today.
Now, could Tapper lose, let's say, all of his next matches and Bourc win all of his, or well,
I'm not so sure of the math, Tucker, but that sounds right to me.
We're going to be checking the math on that presently.
We've got 3 flights left. Man, so it's not completely over, but the problem for Bourc is it is out of his control. He has to see if Tapper basically screws up for the rest of the day, but he was almost flawless in that match, with the exception of the start, but boy, did he get right back into it. That it amazes me more than somebody outsailing someone else is when you are clearly behind, no question, and you come back and claw into a match and overtake the lead. That to me is more impressive. I can't wait to hear Cole's take on it. We're on board with him. Let's go down and hear how it went from the leader himself, Cole Tapper.
Yeah, so that was a really tricky race for us. Obviously not the start we wanted, and mostly my fault, just got us too high in the box, and always he had a pretty easy job to kill that time back, and then you saw that with us starting basically directly behind him. And then luckily we just managed to get our timing right to get out of sync with the tacks upwind, and in these boats you just have to follow directly behind them, so at the top mark. And then our scramble at the bottom from the guys was awesome. We got to pick the turn we just wanted. And then, you know, from there just keep it tight and no mistakes.
Well, there we go. Very few mistakes were made indeed, and Cole Tapper takes a very important point. Congratulations to the young Aussie team. Who have we got left in play?
Yeah, looking right here on the screen, we've got Yanni Berntsson leading Eric Monin down to the gates.
That's big.
That's big. In that pre-start, some of the folks on the pier will have seen that Yanni Berntsson got 2 penalties, so he had to clear one immediately after starting, and has somehow still found himself in front of Monin.
Oh, come on. That's amazing. So now he's got to offset that penalty. These 2 guys going at it down at the bottom of the track there. Berntsson likely to be a definite split here at the bottom of the track as Monin advances over Berntson's breeze. Berntson's got to jibe at some point, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There he
Battle
goes.
of the Crimson Blazers here.
Game on, upwind. Bit of a rough drop there on the left of screen to Monin as he heads to the left. Maryland, he fought for that side, and he got it, and that leaves Berntsson behind a little bit to take the right. But as you say, he's still got a penalty. Berntsson still has to get rid of a second blue flag penalty. They're splitting, big split here, Maryland.
Huge split here. I'll be really interested to see how it comes out. It does seem like that there are some lanes that you can really get ahead on the left-hand side still, even as we are seeing a little bit of a right shift.
if you're in phase with the breeze, statistically, if you're in a right shift now, the next shift likely should go back to the left. That would advantage Monin.
Yeah, absolutely. I imagine that's why he fought for the gate, whereas Berntsson sort of doubled down on heading to the right.
Well, it's tough, right? Because if you're close in a match race, having the right at least gives you starboard advantage when you go back upwind. But Monin is much more of a strategic sailor. He races the course as much as he races his opponent, converse to somebody like Ian Williams, who's always racing the other boat within just a few feet sometimes, stays with him. Rarely see him split. But Monin's comfortable to roll the dice. So, I mean, who do you like?
Well, and just look on screen now. We're just above Monin, and he is going so fast. It seems like he just has found a ton of pressure over there on the left. It's really compelling.
Yeah, I'm looking up the course here. I see Yanni Berntsson sailing all the way out to the right-hand corner and Monin much more in the middle of the course. It seems to me that Monin almost has another gear and a whole different angle. He's probably 3, maybe 4 degrees higher and definitely a little bit quicker than Berntsson coming in from the right side now.
Yeah, big gains to the Swiss. Not only that, but there is a spectator boat on the course, and Berntsson, rather, having to sail through their wind shadow. Not a huge deal, but every bit counts at this level. There's the difference between the two, and you guys are right. Monin, look at the white water coming off the back of Monin's Catalina 37. Just flying upwind.
And we saw this kind of funky breeze shift going on yesterday and the day before, where as the sea breeze sucks in just beyond the gates, if you sail out to the left, you sail into this new line of pressure that's almost a lefty, and then you ride it all the way out to the right side of the course, and you're almost always in first when you do that.
And the tankers are switching a bit to the right, so as it builds, the new kids, he's pretty good. Figured this place out. You've been here your whole life, Marilyn. It builds from the left, and then as it filters in, we start to see more to the right. Right now, the left work for Monin as he approaches the top of the track.
It's so tricky in the middle of the day like this because the wind is really making a big change for the day, and so there's opportunities on both sides.
And it absolutely seems to oscillate between, the breeze will build and go to the right, and then it'll lighten up and go to the left. And then there's this weird transitional part of the day where that left shift out on the bottom left, top right comes in.
Both teams are around now. Both teams set. Both teams heading downwind to the finish. Only one team still has a penalty, and that's Berntsson, and he's behind. Berntsson, the only team to beat Chris Poole, who was otherwise undefeated in this regatta up until the end of yesterday, now trailing his rival Monin, who won the Crimson Blazer for the first time ever last year for the Swiss team in 12 attempts. Meanwhile, Berntsson has sailed 17 Congressional Cups. I've been here for every one. That just means I'm old.
I was going to say, Tucker, does that just mean you're old?
I was going to say it means that it's really fun to watch.
Berntsson said to me last year, maybe after a few beverages, he said, for being older than me, you really look younger. And I said, Yanni, I'm 2 years younger than you. He goes, well, that might be what it is.
I got the pleasure actually last week in the Ficker Cup to sail with Yanni Berntsson. He was calling tactics for the boat I was sailing with. Yanni is one of my favorite people I've ever sailed with. He's just a treat to have on board.
All right, well, one more jibe to the finish for Berntsson, and Monin is comfortable to let him go. Doesn't want to engage. Again, Monin just keeps sailing his own race if he can. And I think if you were a match race competitor, the only way to counter that is to keep close to Monin and keep kind of taking the race to him.
Absolutely.
Don't let him split.
Monin, if you let Monin go, he will pull a rabbit out of his hat, even if he's back. He's very slippery.
2 jibes later, a little bit of a gain to Berntsson, but Monin just has his bow forward, his air clear. That Celtic spinnaker heading towards the finish. All-important win.
And if I'm not mistaken here, Tucker, I believe Berntsson still has a blue flag.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he is still carrying a penalty, so he needs to find a private puff pretty quickly in order to make this happen.
I think he's just going to find another race. We've only got 3 laps to go, legs rather. Wait, sorry, it's late in the day for me too. 3 boat lengths. That's what I meant. Now 2, because it took me a while to straighten that out. For Monin to get to the finish line, and Berntsson is not going to catch him, not going to get rid of that blue flag penalty, not going to win this match. Congratulations, Eric Monin. Let him hear you, folks.
And that's going to be Monin's third win of the day, and he was been undefeated until now, so that's 2 wins for Berntsson and 3 wins for Monin.
And Marilyn, we know that this is Sam's first Congressional Cup, but you've seen a lot of these, as have I. This is what's expected as sort of the cream rises to the top as the game continues in the latter stages. Berntsson doing well, Monin doing well, Poole doing well. They're going to make it through, I think, to the top 4th spot. But who do you think that 4th spot's going to go to? We've got Tapper, we've got Bourc. I don't think. Does anyone else have a shot?
I think Tapper and Bourc are the primary competitors for it. Angstrom's actually put together a really good day today, so we should check the math on him as well. But Tapper is sitting in that 4th spot right now.
Okay, well, lots more action to come as we wind down the second qualifying round robin to see who will go into the top 4. There are only 3 left. So we're going to come back after a short break. Stand by.
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
So every race this week is made possible by the Long Beach Sailing Foundation and their dedication to the Catalina 37 fleet behind me. Their investment in these remarkable boats supports not only competition, but the spirit and legacy of our club. The Catalina 37s are the platform, but the Long Beach Sailing Foundation is the force behind their future. Their leadership ensures that these One Design boats continue delivering fair, exciting, world-class racing for years to come. So as we celebrate Congressional Cup this week, we also recognize Long Beach Sailing Foundation for...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the pier, if you just saw that kite go by, that is not some random person on the pier. We have a special demonstration for all you today. Daniel Moroz is a U.S. Olympian, a 6-time world champion, here today to show you all what Olympic sailing is going to look like right here at the end of the Belmont Veterans Memorial Pier. This sport is called Formula Kite. It is one of the fastest summer Olympic games. They reach speeds of over 40 knots. And the racing in 2028 on board these kites are going to happen right here in Long Beach, one of our 11 events. Check it out as she flies by the pier. This is a racing event. They will race a race course similar to what you're seeing around Marks. It's going to be a really great show come 2028, and Danielle is so excited to show all of you today and the world on YouTube just what this sport is about. She is currently relocated to Seal Beach, California, so she can do her training campaign for the next 2 years. And there will be an event this summer, the Olympic Classes Regatta, where she will take part, as well as will many, many other kites. And the Formula Kite will be one of the main classes right here in Long Beach, as well as all the other summer sailing Olympic events. Check this out as she glides across the water there. Guys, let her hear it up on the pier. This is pretty amazing. She is flying. You'll notice just under the waterline, she has a foil that keeps her above the water. And that's what allows her to skim across at such a high rate of speed. And these kites are very popular here in Long Beach. You'll see them every evening out here along Alamitos Beach. But this is one of the fastest women in the world. So give it up as she comes by the pier. Daniela Moroz, a U.S. Olympian, here on display for all of you. Couple stats on Daniela. She's a 6-time world champion. This is what's really impressive. She's a 4-time U.S. Rolex Yachtswoman of the Year. And she's California-based, so she's one of our own. And in just a few moments, she's going to land on board with Simone and give you guys a live interview. So impressive, Daniela. Thank you so much for coming out today. Let's hear what she's got to say. We're going to go out with Simone here in a moment.
Okay, Daniela, so talk to us. We are here at Congressional Cup on day 3. Talk to us about what you're doing here and what this venue means to you.
Yeah, so this is the 2028 Olympic sailing venue, which is super exciting. I live just on the other side of the river over there in Seal Beach, so I try to come out here and train every day because this is where we'll be racing in 2028. So yeah, 2028.
What does your path to 28 mean?
Yeah, so next year we'll kind of have the qualification process start, so it'll be some combination of international and domestic events. But until then, we have our World Championships coming up in just a couple weeks. I actually fly out to Portugal tomorrow, and then we'll have the Long Beach OCR here later this summer in July. So we'll be racing here again. So if you're out here today, you should come check us out in July.
Epic. So talk to us about what does the sensation of being on a kite foiling mean? How fast do you go? What is the conditions you need? All the information around that.
Yeah, so we're actually the fastest summer Olympic sport, and in the right conditions, we'll be reaching speeds of over 40 knots. So it's super fun. And then I can go pretty much like triple the wind speed on a day like today. So we have about like, I don't know, 10 knots right now, and I'll probably be going like over 35 when I'm locked in. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's incredible. You've been doing this for such a long time. You have so many achievements under your belt. I heard this year you're focusing on the sailing Berntsson a little bit. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, later this summer in July, it's going to be a really important event for us, and that's kind of my peak event for the year. So I'm really focused on that and hoping to get a good result like at the Olympic venue. So that's kind of my focus this year.
Amazing. With 28 coming up in only a few years, what's your training like typically?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the time of year and what I'm focused on, but right now it's a lot about just like getting time at the Olympic venue, and I took some time off after the 2024 games, doing some soul searching, working out the frustration after just missing out on a medal, but I've actually been like working part-time a little bit. I work at a tech startup right now, and then I just come out here after work whenever I can, so thanks Mike, my boss, for letting me do that.
That's awesome. One final question for you is, like, why do you do this? What finds the joy in training for you?
Yeah, I think it's just such a unique sport in that, like, there's no more pure connection to the elements and to nature. So getting to, like, feel that connection every day and feel the wind and be out connected to nature is just so special. So I love that part of it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. I really appreciate it.
Of course, no problem.
Okay, folks, give it up on the pier for Daniela Moros. That was so impressive. And so I am here for a couple more minutes before we get back to racing. One of my favorite guests of the weekend, Christina Duggan here from District number 3, correct?
District 3 here in Long Beach.
How are you, Christina?
Great.
Welcome back.
How are you, Ryan? So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
I feel like I've seen you at about 10 events this year. You get out so frequently. I appreciate that.
Even golfing sometimes.
A little bit of golf. Yeah, she saw me at one of my best shots, so thanks. But anyway, so I just want to ask you a couple quick questions about hosting the Long Beach Yacht Club's Congressional Cup within your district. How excited are you to be a part of this for another season here, another year?
Okay, the Long Beach Yacht Club has done such a fantastic job of running these Congressional Cups. They are experts at it, offering so much housing for folks around the world. Sailors are coming here year after year, knowing that they are going to be taken care of. Housing, and of course, coming for the best water in the world here off the Belmont Veterans Pier.
And this year we have a brand new sponsor, which is so exciting because I get to see our posters everywhere. The Belmont Shore Business Association. They've done a great job to get our little yacht club band. If you guys haven't seen this program yet, check this thing out.
Incredible.
This is up at every business all the way down Belmont Shore, and we are so proud of that because we're just showing the community how much an event this Congressional Cup is for all of them, right?
Congressional Cup offers this to our community. It highlights how amazing what's in our backyard. We can walk, residents, the community can walk from the business district right down here to the water and to this free viewing area here at Belmont Veterans Pier. The business district is such an integral part of our coastal economy, and having it surrounded by residents and having it a part of the Congressional Cup is so amazing and good for both business and for residents in our community.
Really, and I'm so grateful for them because we as Long Beach Yacht Club get so much support from the community. So let me segue this back in, and you hear the crowd in the background. Daniela
Love
just did a 360
Daniela.
out there. So the last question I have for you before we get back to racing for the day and everybody back at home, let us know what your district has in store for the Olympic Games coming up in 2 years. What do you foresee happening out here?
Well, we have 5 Olympic sports in District 3 here in Long Beach and 2 Paralympic sports. That's 7 sports total during LA 28 Olympics and Paralympics right here in District 3 with 18 across Long Beach. But you know what? We have the benefit of water sports. And literally, our business district is right in the center of where all these venues are. We are so lucky here in District 3 to be surrounded by water and offer venues where we can see rowing, coastal rowing, para rowing, canoe sprints, foil sails, just like Daniela was just showing us, and open water swim. We're so lucky to be looking forward to that during LA 28.
And I am so excited to be a part of it in whatever capacity that is, even if it just means I buy a ticket and get to watch.
Oh, you'll be more than that.
It's going to be so fun to have all these Olympians here in Long Beach as we get the last couple summers they're here to practice with us. Christina, what sport are you looking most forward to in this year's Olympic, or the 2028 Olympic Games?
So I am personally looking forward to rowing because I was on the water this morning rowing. And if anyone wants a little history, they can come to my field office in the Conservation Corps. That is the 1932 boathouse for Olympic rowing. And there is so much history in there. I'd love to share that with you. It's definitely what I'm looking forward to, para and traditional rowing.
Awesome. And if I can keep you for another minute, we're getting some boats set up. We're going to get on board for the next flight. I want to ask two more questions because they're giving us the time. We're going to take advantage of it. One thing that I think is unique about our district here, where Long Beach Yacht Club is, we have so many on-the-water options for food. It's so cool here in Long Beach. Can you, what is your favorite restaurant in District 3?
Oh,
if you can pick
are you
one.
putting
I'm putting
me
you on the spot. I know I shouldn't. I'm bad at that. I'm sorry.
That's very difficult.
Give us a couple great examples.
I'm going to give you. My friend Nikki owns George's Greek Cafe. That is a spot where everyone should be going to, right in the heart of 2nd Street. Last night, my husband and I went to Marlena in Naples. Amazing. There's Nico's. There's Atlantica. There is a new restaurant called Zerape. Roe, Louis. What?
Okay, well let me tell you about my favorite one.
Oh,
I'm hoping you mentioned it here. Did you know that today on 2nd Street at Legends, there's a 26-foot tall TV that is showing this live coverage of the Congressional Cup?
Legends is legendary for
so
them
amazing.
Showing the best sports, and this is what we have.
We're so
Congressional
proud to
Cup
be. If
at
you're
Legends.
watching from Legends, hello to all you. Thank you for watching, and thanks to the team down there on 2nd Street and the whole Belmont Shore Business Association. It's really fun to be a part of the community here in Long Beach, and in your district, all the families and all the businesses allow that to happen. As a member of Long Beach Yacht Club, I'm so proud of that. So, Christina Duggan, thank you so much. Is there any last parting words as you get to watch the end of the day here? We got one flight left at the 61st Annual Congressional Cup.
Well, I want to thank Long Beach Yacht Club for all the work that they do to put the Congressional Cup on. They are great hosts along with ABYC. But I want to thank Belmont Shore Business Association and everyone in Belmont Shore supporting this event as a sponsor. Thank you, Ryan.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're going to be back in a couple minutes to more live racing here from the pier at the 61st Annual Congressional Cup. Check out a couple shots here. We'll be right back with Tucker, Sam, and Marilyn.
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
So every race this week is made possible by the Long Beach Sailing Foundation and their dedication to the Catalina 37 fleet behind me. Their investment in these remarkable boats supports not only competition, but the spirit and legacy of our club. The Catalina 37s are the platform, but the Long Beach Sailing Foundation is the force behind their future. Their leadership ensures that these one-design boats continue delivering fair, exciting, world-class racing for years to come. So as we celebrate Congressional Cup this week, we also recognize Long Beach Sailing Foundation for protecting one of the most unique match racing fleets in the world. Their stewardship of our Catalina 37s is a gift to sailing and to Long Beach. The Long Beach Sailing Foundation helps turn tradition into opportunity by sustaining the Catalina 37 fleet for international competition, youth sailing, and club events. Their work keeps these boats and this legacy moving forward.
Hello, my name is Tom Decker. I'm the 2026 Chairman of Float from Long Beach Yacht Club's Congressional Cup. This year at the Long Beach Yacht Club, we probably were able to purchase the Markset Bots autonomous buoys. They set the race course quicker and faster and more efficiently. Typically, a traditional Markset takes about 20 minutes to set. With the Markset Bots being autonomous and running off GPS, we can set the course in about 4 minutes. So with this technology, we also have the Airmar wind indicator on top of the bot. It sends continuous signals about every 5 seconds with an average every 5 minutes, and allows the race committee to see what's going on at Weathermark. With the Airmar, we can allow to see true wind direction. That allows the course to be adjusted. So the bots were purchased through the Long Beach Yacht Club Sailing Foundation, and with a partnership of Balboa Yacht Club, we have a total of 5 bots that allow us to set up our race course. They're run through an iPad or a phone app, and you can move all 5 bots at the same time, or you can move one bot individually if you decide to adjust the course. And the batteries last about 10 hours, so we have continuous battery operation. So typically you'll have a pin boat and you'll have a Weathermark boat, but with having the bots, we are allowed to have less support and still be very effective. So with these bots, we are proudly to present them at the 2026 Congressional Cup, and it's definitely a game changer moving forward for the Long Beach Yacht Club.
Hi, we're Bob and Julie Snow, and we've been housing hosts for 13 years.
Our teams that we've had in the past, we started off with Keith Swinton's team, and Over the years, the skippers have changed, but the teams have remained the same. Ricky McGarvey, Ted Hackney, Ben Lamb, Chris Main, Chris Steele, different guys throughout the years. Last year we had Dave Hood's team, which were some of our original guys, which was great. This year we're starting off with a brand new team. We have a young man from Sweden named Oscar Angstrom and his darling crew. They're all very sweet guys.
These guys have become like family members. They've come to us 13 years ago, 20-somethings, and we have been with them for 13 years. We've met their families, they've gotten married, they've had children, we've gone to their weddings. It's been an amazing experience for both of them.
Yes, and even sometimes too, if they're just crossing somewhere around the world and they make a stop in LA, they'll add a couple extra days in LA and come and hang out with us, which is always lovely before they continue their journey. We've seen sailors in London, we've seen them in Sweden, Denmark, Norway.
Our trip in Sweden was wonderful.
Oh yeah, Italy, we've gone to Italy to see them.
Yes.
And Lake Garda.
Lake Garda was really fun because you run into everybody there. It is really fun.
Joachim Aschenbrenner picked us up. We went and spent a day or two with his family, meeting his parents. A few days later, we were with Jeppe Bourc and his team, and they took us out on Jeppe's 100-year-old beautiful wooden boat through the canals of Copenhagen.
And then all of a sudden we get a text that says, "Are you in London?" And so then we end up meeting up and having dinner and having fun that way. It really has been an amazing way to keep friendships alive.
They become such an integrated part of our family, and I always think we never would have had this experience had we not joined the yacht club and had we not become involved in the Congressional Cup. So this year for 2026, we are loving having Oscar Angstrom's team, and these guys are so special to us, and I know they'll be a big part of our lives from here on out. So we cheer so much for them at the pier. But we also have friends on so many of the other teams.
They've all become such big parts of our family and our life.
Yes. Even Eric Monin's team is so special to us because our son won Junior Congressional Cup with him.
We're going to sum it up. It's like, get involved, be involved with this. It's a very special time. It's something that I think everybody would enjoy doing.
My name is Dr. Karen Block. I'm a chiropractor athletic trainer. We've been working with the sailors in the Long Beach Yacht Club, especially with the Congressional Cup for the past 5 years. We are a brick and mortar on wheels, so everything here is everything we have in our office, plus some. So we have compression, which is a Normatec that we use, so it's nice to flush out the legs. We also have our hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So this is 1.3 ATA, this is a soft-sided chamber, but when you go inside, you lay in, and then we have the oxygen concentrator that's 90%. And so when you lay in, a little pressure and a little oxygen goes a long way, so it compresses. So it's kind of like the Normatec, but your full body. We also do soft tissue work. We do full body. We are chiropractors, but that doesn't mean that we do chiropractic at an event because we treat chiropractic very carefully and thorough. So normally we do nerve tracing technique, which is our own technique that we do. So we trace nerves on the body. So especially with posture, we work on the neck and the low back and we trace nerves. And so it's a different technique, but we have what's called shockwave over here. So this is acoustic. And what this does is it breaks up adhesions with vibration. A lot of people know what an ultrasound unit is. Well, this is ultrasound. It's times 100, and so it actually goes in and breaks up adhesions. Wonderful for chronic conditions and anything that you want to, like, we trace the nerve. Can do cupping, we can do IVs, it can do cold plunge, a class 4 laser. This is called a cutting edge. It's not a hot laser, but it works at 2 different wavelengths, one for acute and one for chronic. Good luck racing this weekend. We wish you the best of luck, and anyone at the pier, please come see us. We'd love to treat you.
The 2026 Ficker Cup was another successful event here at the Long Beach Yacht Club. Teams representing 5 different nations took to the waters on Catalina 37s and put on a show for the entire Long Beach crowd. Nicole Brault, Patrick Zabrosia, Rory Finnegan, and Tom Pico all had strong showings at this year's event. When it came to the final day of racing, the top 4 teams were Scotty Dixon, Theo Westerland, Oscar Angstrom, and Chris Wise. Rory Finnegan joined us on the mic, and the crowd loved the Irish flair that Rory and the team brought to the production studio. In the end, however, it was all eyes on Scotty Dixon as he took yet another Ficker Cup win. Scotty Dixon and Oscar Angstrom both advanced through the Congressional Cup and are racing on the waters this weekend. The Long Beach Yacht Club is proud to honor the legacy of Bill Ficker.
Welcome back once again to Long Beach, California, the Belmont Pier, as our coverage of the Congressional Cup continues right off the Belmont Pier. And fantastic breeze this afternoon, Marilyn Cassidy, and fantastic racing, Sam Rosenbaum, that we have seen. Take us through where we're headed right now, what flight, and who's up first.
Yeah, we're entering Flight 16, Match 1. It's going to be Tapper entering from the left side and Poole entering from the right side.
Tapper fresh off that all-important win in the last match over Bourc. He's looking for the 4th spot in the semifinals. Chris Poole is the best team so far. He's looking for the number 1 spot in the semifinals. We've only got 3 more flights to sail this afternoon, Maryland. The breeze is filling in. This is a Chamber of Commerce day here in Long Beach.
Truly is, and we've seen a bit of a rightward shift since our last race. The race committee has adjusted the course to accommodate this new angle, and so we will see folks sailing a little bit further right than we did before.
A right shift, Sam. So that's where likely each of these teams is going to be fighting for. Now, Chris Poole has been the most aggressive in the pre-starts. He keeps bailing away and jibing back, trying to get a penalty on his opponent. Will he do the same?
I think he absolutely will. We haven't seen a pre-start yet where Chris isn't trying this move and pulling his flag.
Well, there it is. Almost like we knew it was going to happen. Tapper's rate of turn is ahead of Chris's. He's already avoiding all the time. If there was a collision, you'd have to say that Tapper's doing all he can?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw continuous movement there from Tapper trying to get out of his way.
Two minutes, 30 seconds, the countdown. Poole in charge of this match so far. To the right of Tapper, we think Maryland says he wants the right. He's pretty much been right this entire week, save for only 1 match against Yanni Berntsson. Otherwise, almost undefeated. Chris Poole, 2-time Congressional Cup winner. Will he go back at Tapper again? Most teams wouldn't do this. Poole does.
Poole's been aggressive all this whole event, and he's going for it again.
Now, it's not like Tapper's likely to make a mistake, but you have to say, if you keep asking the question and you are the starboard boat, odds are at some point you'll get a penalty against your opponent. All things being equal, at least he's still controlling the match, and that means that Tapper really can't get back down below the line. Not yet.
Absolutely. He's trying to keep Tapper off his game, essentially, destabilizing them, keeping them from making the moves that they want, as much as trying to draw a penalty.
So for those of you new to match racing, let's watch. What Chris Poole on the left wants to do is wait till Tapper's bow just slightly starts moving right of screen. When it does, which is almost started to happen just there, Chris goes in the opposite direction, and that creates separation from the two. By the time they come back together, Chris on starboard tack has rights under the rules. Tapper has to avoid, and he knows it. Tapper's next move, Sam, is to back up.
Yeah, he's backing down here. I think he might try for a steel balls here. Looks like Poole's anticipating, though, and bearing away also.
Nice move. Tapper is not going to let Poole jibe back at him again, not a third time, is he? I don't think there's enough room, do you?
Poole certainly seems to think there might be.
Poole going bow down, kind of faked us out there. He's not going to be able to jibe back at Tapper on starboard. He is going to reach over the top of the race committee boat. That's the starting line to our right. Tapper's going to go below it and split.
Yeah, Poole did a great job using the committee boat there as a pick, basically. Tapper now leading down the line and Poole coming back at him.
Just 25 seconds to go. I think that was a great move by Tapper. This, again, is one of the scenarios where Tapper's fighting for the left. He'll have it. Poole's fighting for the right behind his opponent, 15 seconds. He'll have that. It's going to be probably somewhat of a neutral start as both teams head for the line. Tapper needs to, no, his timing's actually perfect. Chris Poole splits immediately, so he doesn't start on his opponent's hip. Here's the gun.
Poole wants the right from what I can see here. He was pretty close to Tapper, but everything about that pre-start said Poole wants the right.
I do wonder, though, if we're looking at the boats as they start to head upwind, I wonder if we are in a little bit of a left phase where it's just been oscillating back and forth. To my eye, it looked like Tapper might have been making better gains towards the mark right off the line.
I love that.
I agree.
Because Marilyn is just rolling the dice in Tapper's direction. She didn't hesitate. Owning it. All right, well, we'll see if you are right. Marilyn, let's go back into our feature match, into the pre-start. And just real quick, you were right, Marilyn. Well done. Tapper takes an early lead over Chris Poole. Big match. We're going to keep an eye on that one. But for the moment, we roll back into the pre-start. Our feature match has cameras on board. Scott Dixon's boat from the right-hand side on starboard, and Yanni Berntsson, one of his good friends, off the water. One of his best competitors on the water. Berntsson entering from the left. Top of screen, left as we look upwind, top of screen there. We're on board with Berntsson looking at Dixon, who's on starboard, has rights. Here we go.
Känns inte som att vi har denna, men vi kan prova. Ja, det kan vi. Den är våran. Full speed.
Okay, Marilyn, Tapper got across from that early left in the first match. Berntsson gets across, no dial-up in this match. What do you make of it?
Yeah, in this match, I think that Scotty was just a little bit down speed as he entered the box at 4 minutes, and so that really gave Berntsson the opportunity to say, hey, what's an easier way to get out of jail?
Dixon just closing gauge, luffing up, seeing if he can get a piece of Berntsson. He can't. No overlap there. 2 feet, maybe 3 between the teams as Berntsson bears off, heads down deeper in the starting box, off to the right of it. That arm motion from the bowman on Dixon's boat means tell Scotty, yes, you can swing. If you turn your boat, you're not going to hit him. If he holds a solid fist up, it means there's an overlap and you would hit. And that's important for Scotty, who is 36 feet behind with the wheel in his hands.
240. 235. Okay, bow's coming up. Attacking here. He's low.
Scotty rolling into attack to windward, now going bow down.
We heard Scotty Dixon say he's low. He seems to think Yanni Berntsson is a little too low on the pier and in the box here.
Scotty looking to roll over the top of him.
So, and dump both.
Interesting move there. Scotty rolling all the way around into a jibe. That whistle, I believe, is a green flag. No, it's a yellow flag. Scott Dixon got a penalty.
Okay, boat speed.
Scott's heart rate didn't even go up. His voice didn't change a beat. He knows.
Scotty did his yoga this morning.
Yeah, he's got a penalty now, but no matter. Let's keep focusing here. We've got minute 20 seconds. Berntsson leading. I would think Dixon would start to be a little more aggressive, knowing he's got to get rid of that penalty. So he's pushing Berntsson into the starting box early.
Definitely looking to make something happen with just about a minute until the start. They're quite early.
Both teams early. What side do you think they're fighting for, Marilyn?
I think it may have shifted back. I think that we might have a little bit more right pressure right now, but it definitely is a bit of an oscillating breeze.
Certainly down low. We can see it here. First shift's going to be velocity to the right-hand side. That's where Scotty is at the moment, but we still got 35 seconds to go. Okay, Scotty came down a little bit. Berntsson came up. Berntsson asking the question, is Scotty fouling? Split tacks here. Scott goes over the top towards the pin. He'll be to the left. 23 seconds to go. Berntsson has got the right. Green flag, no penalty. Split at the start. Berntsson will be to the right.
And Dixon with a lot more pace than Berntsson here.
Both of them have to tack, which means the first cross is going to happen right after the start. Here comes Berntsson tacking from the right, below the signal boat. Here comes Scotty Dixon tacking from the left. There's the gun. We're off. In our feature match, who's going to have the first cross? Bow to bow, collision course. Berntsson has rights. Scotty Dixon has pace.
And Scotty Dixon with the lee bow there. Berntson's going to be tacking away out to the right.
So neither boat has the advantage. That was pretty much bow to bow. Dixon has to tack early and avoid. He's still got the left if he wants it. Berntsson still has the right. If we are correct, Marilyn, Berntsson would have the advantage. There is a little bit of long-term breeze out to the upper left for Dixon. I'm sure he sees it as well. And it is a left-hand shift, according to Scotty. You can hear that. And Kirk Brown, that penalty?
Dixon was penalized, Rule 11, windward boat not keeping clear.
You know, the Kiwis have a saying, shouldn't happen at this level. It did. Now, Scotty's got to get ahead of Berntsson and get rid of that penalty.
And Scotty, having tacked over to head back out more towards the right, is kind of doing the playbook that we saw a little bit yesterday, where he's gotten into that first bit of left pressure and is going to take that across the race course into the right shift.
On board the Long Beach Yacht Club Congressional Cup team, Dixon Racing.
Yeah, a little sketch here at the moment.
Okay, so Sam, you just heard Dixon say a little sketchy here at the moment, meaning?
I'm not quite sure, honestly. I think he might be talking about the next cross with Berntsson. I quite like where Dixon is as far as the angle and the way he's sailing the boat. He seems to be in a bit more pressure.
I agree with you. I think the reason he called sketchy is because he's just not strong enough to get ahead of Berntsson. You know, the problem is you need more than a length ahead of your opponent to get across on port. And if you're going to control the match, you just need a quarter of a length advantage if you come from the right. So Berntsson has all the odds in his favor as he tacks, but Dixon does have a good head of steam as the two teams converge, Marilyn.
Oh my gosh, it's so close, isn't it? I think Scotty might have it. What do you think?
I think it'll be a lee bow for Scotty would be the conservative move. Let's listen in. Gains for Dixon for sure. And yes, he could have actually crossed. Left paid off. Big move for Scott Dixon.
Ooh, Scotty's not super happy with his trimmer right now, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, didn't spend enough time in yoga for that. He's definitely wound up, and I like that, actually. Scotty's so relaxed all the time. It's good to know that he's fired up.
Well, from what Scotty told me last night, it sounds like today was actually a swimming day, not a yoga day.
He swims 3/4 of a mile in the morning in 62-degree water.
And do you know what beach he goes from? Horny Beach.
Okay. Whatever it takes. Big gains you heard from Dixon Racing. Into mark number 1. It's their mark. They can tack. They have rights. They are ahead of Berntsson, but we got a penalty still, remember?
There's a penalty, and both teams are under pretty big pressure with tack sets at this weather mark, so it'll be really exciting to see the crew work and how it all pans out.
And Sam, Scott Dixon's done an impressive job to get over Berntsson from the left, but not ahead enough to spin that penalty turn yet.
No, but I think he's going to try to extend here. I don't think they're nearly close enough to try to draw out another penalty.
No.
So unless he wants to either A, slow the boat down, or B, he needs to sail as fast as possible and try to kill it later.
Right, and it's way too early in the game right now. We're only 1 of 4 legs complete as Dixon rolls into the jibe first ahead of his good friend, Yanni Berntsson. It looks like long jibe. Still a little bit of a left-hand angle, not as much. But you'd want to be jibing soon if you were Berntsson.
I think I would be looking to jibe pretty soon, especially with Chris Poole and his match right behind me. You know, I just don't want any extra pressure.
There's Yanni going for the jibe now. I think that Yanni was looking for even a little bit of a separation from Dixon there to try to make some gains. He's throwing the dice a little bit.
As you would. The only problem is he did have those two spinnakers behind him, that yellow one and the orange one. That's Chris Poole leading, which is a sentence we've been saying all week long. In his match, Berntsson had to get away from the wind shadows, so he's trailing Dixon now by even more. Dixon's got wheels in this match.
Yeah, this is something we haven't seen from Scotty Dixon all weekend. He seems to be very cool, confident, and he's very fast in this race.
Dixon looking over his shoulder. How many boat lengths does Dixon need to spin the penalty turn and still stay ahead of the black spinnaker?
I'm thinking it's probably between 6 and 8, but Marilyn knows these boats a lot better than I do, so you tell me.
Our boat speed right now, I would put it probably closer to 6 than 8, but they're motoring. One of the interesting things about the boats is that there's no onboard electronics, so I can honestly tell you that I have no idea what our target speeds are supposed to be. It's all how it feels in the helm and in terms of your speed relative to your competitor.
Four.
We'll put it this way, it's close. Dixon approaching the leeward gates, favoring the left-hand side again as we look back upwind. And this is an early drop. The first 2 days, Scotty was pushing those leeward mark roundings. They've certainly sorted that issue out. Beautiful timing.
Absolutely. If you know, it's a lot faster to go upwind with no spinnaker than it is to go downwind with its spinnaker.
Now it's Berntson's turn. Berntsson holding that spinnaker up longer than normal, trying to gain on his competitor.
And taking the right gate, deciding to go back and try the right-hand side again.
Yeah, we actually saw in a different match, we saw Chris Poole make out a huge gain out on the left side. He took the left gate.
Dixon tacks over to stay in touch with Berntsson. Berntsson to his right. And there's that vein of left-hand pressure we've been talking about. It's not always there, but when it is powerful. It worked for Scotty on the first upwind leg, and it's working now.
In this drone image, you can see it really, really clearly, too, that Scotty is just inside that patch of darker water.
Okay, real quick, let's have a look at the finish line. There is Chris Poole leading yet another match, and this one is over Tapper. That's important for both teams, really, more so for Tapper because that could open the door for Bourc later on. We'll come back to that. We'll go upwind again with Yanni Berntsson here trailing Scotty Dixon, top of screen, second upwind leg, second windward mark. Pretty calm on board both boats. Talking about how they want to set up for the top mark. Okay, they're talking about when they're going to do the penalty turn, and you heard Dixon said, I think at the finish. So we're going to go all the way here.
Yeah, I've seen Dixon kill a penalty right at the finish against me in the Ficker Cup last week. He knows what he's doing there, that's for sure.
How'd that go for you guys?
It didn't go for us.
23 Congressional Cup. Scotty Dixon has sailed.
Is he the most at this event?
No. Yes, he is. Yanni Berntsson is 17. Scott Dixon, 23. I had to look it up because I asked him, and he had no idea. He honestly couldn't remember how many. Just in the background, top of screen there's a luffing battle going on. That's an exciting match. Five matches in this flight. This is our second feature match. Every point counts for all of them.
We're still gaining here, guys. This is all good.
It is all good. So he's continuing to get more and more and more distance away from Yanni Berntsson to get the amount of space he needs to spin that penalty turn. we said somewhere around 6 lengths. The delta is now, I'd say, a solid 8 or more.
Yeah, there's a couple of conditions, though, about taking your penalty turn. So you can't do it inside the zone of the weather mark, and so you can see that he hasn't done it here. And then you really don't want to make this downwind leg any closer than it has to be between him and his competitor, Yanni Berntsson. So he's deciding, let's just try to extend.
Stand by, kommer slag. 2, 1, kommer vi där. Bra sättning nu och så rullar vi in i
I just saw Yanni Berntsson look at his watch. If I'm not mistaken, he may have actually been timing just how far he is behind Dixon.
Frankly, Tucker,
he'll
that
know
doesn't surprise me.
He'll know exactly how much time is needed to spin that circle for Dixon, and he'll know, having looking at his watch, exactly whether that's going to work or not. And based on his body language, which was pretty flat, I think Dixon's going to do it.
Hold the pole, stabilize, please. Down 5.
It's quiet on both boats.
I think both teams know what must be done. Berntsson just trying to do the best he can to close up distance.
Vi tjänar här hela tiden, vilket är bra. Ja.
Yanni Berntsson just having a look at Scotty Dixon. He's checked the timing. He's checked the distance. He's looking at the position. Dixon doing the same, having a look behind. Knows he's got just enough room to do this. He has to spin a complete 270-degree, not a full circle, but enough to tack through the eye of the wind, drop the spinnaker, finish, come back to a downwind course, and then cross the finish, all while staying ahead of Yanni Berntsson and not fouling again.
Well, what I think Dixon's going for, and what he did to me in the Ficker Cup, is he's going for the pin zone to try to be able to do this. As long as he gets his bow below 90 degrees, he's no longer the keep clear boat after he does the tack.
Okay. Jib going up now. Now, look in the background there. There is a start, another match on the starting line. Not sure if that's going to come into play. Sometimes it can. Time to drop the kite. Stand by. Jib is up. Crew's ready.
Kite coming down in 3, 2, 1. Kite coming down.
Crew rushing to get that kite down. It's got to be below the gooseneck before the boat spins through the eye of the wind. Scotty Dixon winding up just to windward of the pin at the finish here. Kite's down, bows through the eye of the wind. Jib's being backed. Now he's on a downwind course. Now the yellow penalty flag goes away on the umpire boat. And now Scott Dixon wins the match. You can hear the crowd in the background all across the water in the Belmont Pier. We've got some Scott Dixon fans, I guess, here in Long Beach.
That felt good. Yeah, good job, man. Hey, thank you.
Scotty's got to be pleased with that one.
What's that?
Yeah, we heard him. That felt good. Of course it did. It's better than swimming in 62-degree water in the morning. I'm sure Scotty would agree. All right, well, we've got an interview live with the winner of that match in just a few moments. We're going to hear from the man himself on board with Scott Dixon.
What made the difference on that race, Scotty? And tell us what the word gas is. You use that all race.
Gas. So yeah, gas is basically bad air from the other boat or any other boats on the course, to be honest. And obviously these boats, when they're underpowered, they take a lot to get going. So we really work very hard to sail in clean air, which is, you know, uncorrupted by other boats. And yeah, the team did a great job and just kept the boat moving. So yeah, it really was a boat speed race, and always good to get one up on my good friend Johnny Berntsson.
Love it. You know, we were saying that as well. You know, it is his good friend. Those guys are great friends off the water, but there was no love lost there on the water. However, I'm sure we didn't see it, but I bet Yanni Berntsson kind of said congratulations. What a great win for Scott Dixon. Telling us what gas is as well. It's not a result of what he had for breakfast, by the way. It's It's dirty air. Now, back into the match. We'll leave Scotty to his short celebration as we get back into the last start here. This is Pierro. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah, we have young Geretta pressing Pierro down towards the pin with less than a minute to go until the start. I think just about 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Both boats down towards the pin. Geretta to windward, Pierro to leeward. Both French teams fighting it out. Both young teams here. Geretta's going to have to tack away, and Pierro is just simply going to slingshot across the line. There's the gun. And I say this to you almost every start, Marilyn, particularly when there's a split. Geretta going to the right, Pierro to the left. We saw Scott Dixon make the left work. Who's on the correct side?
I think that although we saw the left working quite a bit in our featured match, there's a little bit of right in it, perhaps at the weather mark right now. I'll be really interested to see what happens.
I see left down low still, and this cross is going to be key. Has Pierro got it? Remember, he has to avoid under the rules, and he does. So early cross down here at the bottom of the track. We'll see if it shifts back to the right at the top, as it typically does here in Long Beach. You can see in the background there the other 4 spinnakers, 2 more matches in play. Heading downwind, we'll give you updates on who's ahead, who's behind, who's going to make that top 4 spot in the semifinals, who will move on tomorrow to continue racing in the Congressional Cup, and who will sail in the fleet race, which is not the goal of those that won a Crimson Blazer. But hey, only one team will be on top on Sunday afternoon. The other 9 will all have shared something special. They've competed in the final in the Congressional Cup, one of the top match racing events in the world, the grandfather of all international match race regattas. Okay, so we're going to leave Geretta and Pierro splitting upwind. This is Jeppe Bourc in his Long Beach Foundation blue spinnaker, leading into the leeward mark.
And he's leading Angstrom, I believe, in the green spinnaker down to the leeward mark. He's had a pretty dominant match over Angstrom, and the windward mark was very interesting because Bourc and had the match behind him, Monin and Prendergast, kind of used as a pick boat almost.
All right, so Bourc leading upwind. Maryland, he chose the left. You know, all day the sea breeze builds at about this time. This is a light build. It's not a strong build. I don't know if there's a weather system in the area. Also, it usually shifts to the right by now, and it hasn't. We're starting to see more lefty and less typical sea breeze.
And Angstrom having major problems with his rounding down here. Genoa's not all the way up. Kite's halfway down.
Okay, real quick. That's Eric Monin winning another match, and it's a close one over Prendergast. Meanwhile, you're right. There's trouble at the leeward mark. Big trouble on the left side there. Oof. They're not even getting that jib up. What you've been on these boats. What do you think's going on?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It looks to me like the spinnaker sheet is wrapped around the hanks there. It looks like the bowman was just able to clear it off the hank just above the number 5 there.
Who is that?
That is Angstrom.
Ay, ay, ay. Not what you want to have happen.
Yeah, as a boat being back, you need to execute every maneuver perfectly, and Bourc didn't give you any room to mess up, and Angstrom didn't have a great rounding there.
No, I mean, you expect a few small errors at this level of the game, but when you have one like that in the background, there's Bourc leading and tacking. Big, big, big loss to Angstrom. Meanwhile, at the top of the track, who have we got on starboard and port? Very close. Is that both French teams? Who's in the lead?
Battle of the young Frenchmen.
Do we know who's leading from the right there? Tough to tell from here. 4 is trailing. Geretta's trailing. So Pierro tacking in the lead. It's close, though. We know that the advantage shifts to the trailing boat if it's close downwind in match racing. We know that there's this vane left-hand pressure, so we probably can guess whoever jibes onto starboard quickly around this mark could get a jump on their competitor. What would you do?
I think I'd go for the jump here. He's close enough that you need to stay close until, or hold them until either they can't jibe or you need to jibe before that.
I'd roll right. Here it comes. Yeah,
there it is.
I would have done this if I were the trailing boat. Immediately get the kite set, jibe, jump on your competitor. It's working from behind. Geretta doing a great job trying to roll Pierro. Pierro now, even though he's ahead, is on the back foot. As a leeward boat, he's going to try and luff to keep his air clear, but he's got to spend distance to do it. They're overlapped.
A lot of distance between the two boats. This drone shot's pretty incredible that we can see how much space is actually between the boats. I don't think that the windward boat is necessarily affecting the leeward boat at this point. Pierro doing everything he can to just get down the course and get to the breeze of the other Frenchman.
Two more jibes simultaneous. Geretta on the attack. Pierro defending. Crew work is crucial here.
So, guys, as these two head downwind, I think it's a great time to note tonight at the Long Beach Yacht Club, our Junior Congressional Cup. It's going to be so much fun as 10 young skippers take to the waters with one skipper from each of these 10 Congressional Cup teams and face off to win the Junior Congressional Cup, where one skipper will be invited to join us for Tucker Thompson's press conference. So cool.
It's going to be great. We invite all you guys to come back and watch the Junior Congressional Cup. It's hysterical. These top professional sailors race with the kids. Somebody always goes swimming. Inevitably, it happens every year.
And it's like a mini pier at the yacht club. You feel the crowd all around the decking there. So such a fun time. Please join us tonight. I believe, if I heard correctly, it will be live streamed again this year.
Nice.
So pretty cool.
Can't wait to see it. Plus, we'd like to have you guys join us for the press conference afterwards with these sailors from the Congressional Cup and the Junior Congressional Cup winners. Look how close this is coming downwind, folks.
Tucker,
Nothing
you got
in
any
it.
bets on who's going to win the Junior Congressional Cup?
I have no idea. We could have a lead change here, guys.
It's so close right now. You can see the gauge between the two boats is closing. I think Geretta still holds the upper hand in this match because he can prevent Pierro's has the upper hand in this match because he can prevent Geretta's jibe. But you can see the kites coming down. They're well above the gate lay line. And now it's a sort of game of, here we go, jibe back and sail upwind to your leeward gate.
Yeah, Pierro's done a nice job forcing Geretta away. The mark that they're heading to is actually behind them. They've just done a 180 turn, heading back to the line. Pierro is going to enter the zone first and round ahead. Beautiful job. That was downwind jail executed to perfection.
And the real question here is, which gate does he go to? Does he button hook around the course left gate, or does he sail extra distance and go to the right? It looks like he's going to button hook around.
Yeah.
So as the French team split the gates, we have a look here at the downwind Long Beach Sailing Foundation spinnaker. Today that is Jeppe Bourc take the win in his race over Oscar Angstrom. So another valuable point for Bourc here. I know, Marilyn, you've been kind of following along there. Between Bourc and Tapper, this has been a big day for the two of them. Only one is going to have the chance to make it through the way things have shaked out.
Yeah, and Bourc is doing everything he can to stay in it. It's really a little bit out of his hands now, as Tapper will have to drop a couple more races in this round robin in order for Bourc to make it through. But this win is critical for him to try to stay alive.
Here's a look here at Jeppe Bourc and team. You know, funny tidbit as we've got them on the shot here. Maria is in charge of all of the housing here. We have over 30 families take part in housing for back-to-back weeks. And Maria has had the Bourc team, and she's had the other team of Cole Tapper. And she was sweating on the pier watching those two race each other earlier. Only one's going to have the shot to make it through, but fun day racing.
I can only imagine what the dinner conversation is like at that house. Well, Marilyn, we have been seeing the left working time and time again late this afternoon, and it has yet again here. Geretta still trailing Pierro the last match heading upwind. Close, though.
So close. I mean, within a couple of boat lengths, this is certainly another downwind leg for us to watch as the opportunity shifts to that trailing boat.
And what a confidence boost for Pierro here at the end of the day. I know it's his first ever Congressional Cup, but taking a couple wins has to feel good. I know he's such a young guy. He'll definitely be back in the future.
Geretta shifting to the right of Pierro. You saw there's within a length and a half between the two teams. Any slight right shift, and he could have a bit of starboard advantage. Both teams are splitting, likely to lay line for each of them. Look for.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, Tucker, I've seen incremental gains in the top right. For the boats that streak out to the right side, they've actually gained just inch by inch. Nothing huge like you're seeing bottom left, but I'm really keen to see how they come back together.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised Pierro in the top of the screen there let Geretta go to the right of him at the top of a beat in a match race, which is sort of like 101 rule not to do.
Right, especially when you have them, just keep the cover on them.
Right, and also when all you need is a quarter of a boat length to get a piece of your opponent on starboard and Maryland, when that righty shift is usually at the top of the track. So there's 3 reasons not to have done it. It's close here.
It's so close. It looks like Pierro's going for it, though.
Has he got it?
Absolutely. I think he's got it by about half a length, maybe a full length.
I'll tell you what, that was a couple feet at most. Couple feet. Look at that. How close. That almost was a big error. And now he's put himself in a position where he's going to have to defend the attack from the trailing boat. Geretta's right back in it.
Certainly going to be a downwind battle.
I saw Geretta raise a flag there for an umpire request on that rounding, but
I think I just put the flag up the whole time. Leave it up.
You're leaving the race in the
Just
umpire's hands then, Tucker.
Leave it up.
they'd hate you, Tucker, if you're up there the whole time like that.
No, I'm just kidding, because you never want to put the race in the umpire's hands.
Great shot here, that orange spinnaker of Visit Long Beach, the Long Beach Visitors Bureau, helping support the Congressional Cup yet again. As we show the world what Long Beach sailing looks like as we move forward to the 2028 Olympic Games, we'll have IQ foiling, and as you saw earlier, Formula Kite here in Long Beach right off the pier.
That was cool.
That was so cool.
That was very wild. It's going to be exciting here in a couple of years. Ryan, you'll be here.
Yeah, I think Long Beach Yacht Club is really excited to be involved any way we can, if it means housing people or helping contribute volunteers to host the 2028 Games. Look here at the pier. If you're on the pier, give us a wave right now. You don't know we can see you, but we can see you.
Yeah, you're live around the world, folks.
Thank you to all of you for staying with us for the day. I see
wave.
Daniel Gorman and crew up there. He's turning around.
And this is only Friday. Can you imagine what it's going to look like here Sunday afternoon for the finals, Ryan?
Tucker, how glad are you that we kept Sam this week? Sam, I begged him to stay at the end of the Ficker Cup, but I think he's happy to be here. He's done a great job.
Sam, how glad are you for having stayed, because the food quality went up in your world this week, huh?
Absolutely. I'm a college student back in Charleston, so it's instant ramen for me, and the Long Beach Yacht Club has taken great care of me. Really enjoyed everything I've eaten here and had a great time.
Listen, Ryan is right. Marilyn and Ryan and I are used to working together the past few years here, covering the Congressional Cup. Sam, having your perspective is huge, fresh off these Catalina 37s. You know the game. You were just doing it. And we're lucky to have you in the booth.
Thank you, Tucker. Really happy to be here and lots of learning going on. I hope to be back in Ficker next year and hopefully Congressional.
Here comes Pierro. One final jibe for both teams. Off to the left is Geretta. Looking to close the gauge a little bit. I think he has, but it's not going to pay off.
Yeah, that first jibe Pierro was able to throw in and clear away was really, really productive for him.
Aurelien Pierro wins the final race this afternoon. Fantastic. That was the battle for French bragging rights. Très bien. We're going to hear from all 10 of these teams at the press conference at the Long Beach Yacht Club in less than an hour from now, so we better hurry up and get back there. And then we're going to see the Junior Congressional Cup. We're going to see who wins that and which of these professional teams goes swimming, always the entertaining part. But for those of you here at the pier in Long Beach, thanks for joining us this afternoon. You know we've got 2 more fantastic days of racing and great weather, Maryland, coming up for the Congressional Cup semifinals and finals that we'll see over the next 2 days. And Ryan Sanders, it's been great to have you bring in the perspective of Long Beach and all the guests that you've interviewed here. Marilyn Cassidy, thank you very much. And, of course, Sam Rosenbaum, our newest addition to the commentator team. That's it for us this afternoon here in Long Beach. We hope you've enjoyed watching us live and also watching us online at YouTube, Facebook, and thecongressionalcup.com. We hope to see you right back here, 11:30 a.m. local time tomorrow. For now, I'm Tucker Thompson. So long from Long Beach, California.
Among sailors, the Congressional Cup Regatta, staged in California, is regarded as one of the major events in the sport. And winning here is a never-to-be-forgotten achievement in anyone's sailing career.
It's one of the biggest things you can do if you're a sailor and love the match racing, and to be on the top among these great names and being on the cup was over the moon.
This world-class match racing competition is hosted and staged by the members of the Long Beach Yacht Club and has a magnificent trophy adorned by the names of many of the greatest sailors in the sport, a trophy which has also eluded many others. Such is the challenge of winning here. Recognized as the green jacket equivalent to winning the Masters in golf, each year the winning skipper is honored with an invitation to wear the famed crimson blazer forevermore. In 2025, Eric Monin became the first Swiss skipper to win his place in history.
The 2025 Congressional Cup! What a match! And what a finish!
Wow.
In the 61st staging of the Congressional Cup, who will claim that honor this year?
In championship sailing, there are no second chances. Every move matters. Every decision counts. Selling your business is no different. It demands precision, judgment, and the right partner to navigate critical inflection points when it matters most. Since 1998, Plethora Businesses has successfully guided hundreds of business owners through complex transactions with strategic results. Precision wins. PlethoraBusinesses.com.
So every race this week is made possible by the Long Beach Sailing Foundation and their dedication to the Catalina 37 fleet behind me. Their investment in these remarkable boats supports not only competition, but the spirit and legacy of our club. The Catalina 37s are the platform, but the Long Beach Sailing Foundation is the force behind their future. Their leadership ensures that these one-design boats continue delivering fair, exciting, world-class racing for years to come. So as we celebrate Congressional Cup this week, we also recognize Long Beach Sailing Foundation for protecting one of the most unique match racing fleets in the world. Their stewardship of our Catalina 37s is a gift to sailing and to Long Beach. The Long Beach Sailing Foundation helps turn tradition into opportunity by sustaining the Catalina 37 fleet for international competition, youth sailing, and club events. Their work keeps these boats and this legacy moving forward.